안녕하세요. 오피.gg 스포츠의 훈이입니다.
항상 저희는 지고 나서 깨닫는 게 더 많다고 생각을 해서 왜 졌을까? 우리가 문제점이 뭘까를 이렇게 더 많이 생각할 수 있는 기회였고 그로 인해서 더 강해졌지 않나 싶습니다.
부담감 없다가 하면 이제 거짓말이겠죠. 그래도 제가 이겨야지 이제 연패도 끊고 다시 팀 분위기를 좀 체인지 할 수 있으니까 어떻게든 이겨보려고 했습니다. 왜 그렇게 된 거예요?
또 용광로가 살았어요.
그러게요.
불꽃 남자 훈이가 이번 경기 용광로를 경기 거의 잡아내는 느낌이에요, 이 정도면.
용광로.
용광로 때문에. 너무 당황스러웠는데 갑자기 그런 게 돼가지고. 자이는 맨날 선패를 먼저 푸는 것 같아요.
그러니까 자이 같은 경우에 조금 공격적인 성향인 것 같아요. 그게 자이뿐만 아니라 브랜 선수들이 다 공격적으로 운영하는 것 같고 여기서 근데 조금 아쉬운 부분이 나온 것 같은데 여기서 매미가 조금 너무 앞에 낸 것 같아요.
이게 너무 아팠어요.
이때 상대방이 무슨 덱인지 예측했어?
네, 당연히 이건 무덤일 것 같다 생각했어요. 이때 좀 위험하긴 했는데
이때 바바리안 침착하게 잘 감싼 것 같아요. 근데 상대방도 눈덩이 센스가 좋았어요.
맞아, 눈덩이가 좋았어요. 이건 들어오겠다 싶어서 미리 써놓고
여기서 조금 얼굴
여기 좀
실수한 게 조금 위험했어요. 근데 상대방이 우리 공격적으로 독을 써줘서 후방에 용광로 지는 거는 좋은 것 같아요. 우리가 연습했던 것처럼 독을 빠지면 반대편에 용광로 주는 이런 플레이고 상대방이 신경을 계속 건드리는 거죠. 여기서도 차를 반대로 못 끌면 앞에 세우는 게 더 나은 것 같아요. 상대방이 근데 또 바바리안을 보고 있었어. 상당히 공격적으로. 여기서는 이쪽에 무덤 들어간 거 조금 안 좋았다.
체력이 너무 없어가지고 유닛.
여기서도 침착하게 또 수비하고 무덤 들어갔고 여기가 매미가 다행히 머스킷까지 잡아주고 타워까지 쳐줘가지고
의미가 다른데. 눈덩이까지 실수했나 보다.
눈덩이 실수도 너무 컸어 상대방. 여기도 얼굴 실수도 하고
상대 당황했나 보다.
여기서도 시간 안 주고 들어갔던 거 잘한 것 같아요.
반대쪽도 이제 좀 신경 쓰도록 바통 굴려놓고
여기서 맞으면서
몇 대만 긁어주면
여기서 침착하게 1번 낸 게 잘한 것 같아요. 거기다가 무리해서 바로 빨지 않고
얼굴이 눈덩이 때문에 딜이 너무 들어가거든요.
여기서 도구로 마무리하고 초반에 얼굴 실수한 거 빼고는 정말 침착하게 잘 이끌어 나간 것 같아요. 저는 9점이라고 생각합니다. 그 이유는 뭐냐면 처음에 다쿠가 돌진했을 때 얼굴 어그로 실수가 있었는데 그 실수 외에는 침착하게 천천히 경기 운영을 잘 해나갔다고 생각합니다.
8점이라 생각해요. 첫 경기에 약간의 미스가 있어서 최적의 점수는 아닌 것 같아요. 사람은 이제 좀 맞아야 좀 잘한다는 그런 인식이 있잖아요. 그걸 좀 뭐라 해야 되지 이거? 그냥 말 비유. 그러니까 좀 잘해보겠습니다. 연승 이어가겠습니다.
Actually, I'm very nervous because I'm not sure if I can beat.
It's your first time?
Yeah, and it's my first time too. I think I can handle it, and I know in myself that I will do my best, so don't regret.
I just advise to don't scared, be confident. Yeah, that's it. Dia by dia in this deck. Kung hindi naman gagawin mong push, tingnan mo. Wala nag-uulim yun kasi alam mo, di ba may kalang siya. Huwag mo na paabutin ng 4. Ang kailangan niya pala, pero yun lang. Yun ang nilagyan niya. After...
Buti ng dash.
Kung hindi nakalami siya ng konti. Ayun o. Yun naman. Yun, tsaka niya pahingo.
Gusto niyo
Sa taas, sa may tower.
Dead damage mo.
Hindi, pwede na rin naman kanina to yun.
Ito ko yung bilis.
Di ba?
Pero ito, sasakit na bilis.
Yun lang.
Ito,
Yun din pa.
ito. Ito yung harap ito. Parang alam mo na. Hindi ko alam.
Okay sana ang ginawa niya. Sunod niya din na lahat ng palayo. Kung nilagyan niya lang yung masketer.
Yung
Saka
number, makaka-diretso.
Oo, tinan mo, ang goal yung feeling ko. Kanina pala ang ginamit siya. Kung nilagyan niya palayo lahat yun doon, tapos controlin niya lang. Dapat sa ganun kasi again. Gamitin lang si Terry pag ganun bugbugan may dragon mo.
Harap
Tapos
kayo.
oo, tsaka mag-bandit ngayon. Pantayin mo na mga damage
Sorry,
mo.
sorry.
So damage mo lang. Pinaabal niya yung master pa namin kasi na-step niya yung kalang.
Hindi ko siya
Lalagyan mo ko lang yun sa abandit. Walang-wala na yun. Pagka-grenade niya ko lang.
Nagtitipid kasi ako kala ko baka mag-goal sa bigla.
Po, play safe ka na lang.
Oh, play safe kasi yan. Wala nang panalo yan.
Nung pag-dito niya pala, sabi ko, 7 na agad yung utang na yun. Sabagay, mga play safe. Sabagay.
Okay, kailangan mag-aalabutik na yan.
That's why the score is 8. Nabugahan ba yan?
Hindi.
Nabugahan nga.
Ito kabila oh. Isa.
Wala na. Pagtawa tapos yun. Snowball na lang yun, di ba? This deck is for us. It's the balanced deck for KK and he play comfortable with it.
I think 10.
Wow. I think for me it's 8. 12, I think. Yeah.
15. We will go into World Finals.
Let's go, Brand Fighting.
안녕하세요. 저는 오지의 넨토스의 반델리온이라고 합니다.
버저퍼 때문에 벌룬이 제가 더 밀어냈구나.
가까웠고 픽시시 델리온.
올킬이에요.
이 덱은 일단 메가나이트랑 해골통 그리고 여러 미니 유닛들이랑 광부를 사용해서 상대의 감전이나 눈덩이 그리고 바바리안 통 이런 스프레드를 유도하는 그런 덱입니다. 주로는 해골통이랑 그다음에 광부가 아무래도 핵심으로 딜러 역할을 하고 있고 수비는 이제 전부 다 임페로니 드래곤이 도맡아서 하고 이제 지상 병력이 상대가 좀 많이 온다 싶으면 메가나이트를 써주고 이거를 되게 잘 써야 돼요. 눈덩이랑 해골통 콤비가 있어요. 이게 해골통이 죽는 순간 데스 데미지가 떨어집니다. 그거를 눈덩이로 빠르게 커팅해줄 수 있는 것도 매우 중요합니다. 이 덱의 장점은 멘탈이 약해질 수 있는 덱이에요. 상대가 대응을 되게 빠리빠리 못하면은 타워가 순식간에 빈사 상태까지 그냥 가버리는 경우가 허다하고 스펠을 어느 쪽에 써야 될지 상대가 고민을 되게 많이 해야 되는 덱이라서 잘 쓰면 되게 까다로운 덱인데 문제가 이제 단점인데 솔직히 말씀드릴게요. 유리한 덱은 없습니다. 현 메타상에는 거의 존재하지 않고요. 그냥 안 좋아요, 덱은. 쓰지 마세요. 저는 레골통의 아버지이기 때문입니다. 자, 광부가 나왔는데 저 같은 경우는 이제 성격이 급해서 선패를 못 기다립니다. 연장전에 못 가는 성격이라 그냥 광부 노빠꾸로 갈게요. 상대 해골이 8렙인데 아, 이거 기분이 좋죠? 일단은 미쳤네. 어이구, 다 쓰네, 다 써 그냥. 이거 맞아줘도 돼요. 상대 그 덱이네요. 로자 낚시꾼. 그렇죠? 해골통이 딜을 넣긴 넣는데 상대가 엘릭서가 없었나 보네요. 이거를 그럼 캐치를 해주고 제가 엘릭서를 우위를 점하고 있으니까 광부 그냥 공격적으로 한번 쓸게요. 상대는 이걸 막아야 되거든요. 그렇죠? 그러면 상대가 아까 통나무를 해골동을 뺐기 때문에 한번 찔러줍니다. 용광로가 나오던가 유닛이 나오거나 할 텐데 용광로가 나오네. 아 용광로 7렙이야. 귀엽다. 상대 저 덱은 알고 가셔야 됩니다. 인드를 끊을 때 번개 하나예요. 그 점을 잘 이용해야 돼요. 덱을 외우는 게 가장 제일 중요하시다 보니 뺐죠? 이러면은 용광로가 나올 때면은 용광로를 해골통으로 대신 받아줘요. 또 낚시꾼이 돌았거든요. 네. 베이비 드래곤도 돌았네요. 이러면. 아까 말씀드린 게 잠깐만요. 이렇게 이러면 수비가 됩니다. 저 덱이 박쥐도 끊을 때 애매해서 데스 데미지 들어가고 네, 하나 늦었죠. 앞에서 잘라주고 여기다 덮어주고 쉽게 할 수 있는 팁이라고 하면은 공격적으로 플레이하는 거 가장 어려운 점은 상대 덱을 다 파악해야 된다는 건데 그 파악을 잘 못하시는 분들은 공격적으로 하면은 상대 보면 계속 빠져가거나 그래서 체크를 할 수가 있어요. 상대 카드가 뭐 나왔다. 머리가 빠질 수도 있어서 알아서 탈모약 잘 챙겨 드시고 평가가 매트했을 때는 저도 폰을 하나 부셔가지고 박격포에 대한 적응이 완료되신 분에게 추천드리는 건 제일 답답한 순간이죠. 선택가 많이 미안합니다. 하나님 이게 네. 저 어디 가냐?
아니 저게 되게 말이 안 되는. 일법 있고 바바리안 이거 카운터고 일법 이거 카운터고.
선수들이 접어들면 저 아무것도 못 하겠는데? 그러면 안 되겠다. 내보내면 안 되겠다. 나랑 할 때 접어 들고 오겠는데. 쓰지 마세요.
Let's go.
What's up, guys? It's Clash Royale League Asian time. It is the final week of the regular season. Week 8, 3 more days. One group has 2 more days. One group has the final day left. And then we move on to the playoff, the finals, and then the world final at the end of the year. So it's going to be all concluded in the next few months. Very exciting to see which teams are going to make it into the playoff. That's concluded in just today, tomorrow, 3 days.
Yeah.
1 plus 1 plus 1.
1 plus 1 plus 1.
I need some time for math. My name's G Clef, ending life. Go
Yep.
ahead.
All right. So, like you said, we have 3 days. 2 days of Group B, including today, and 1 day of Group A, and that's it for the regular season. We're going to be moving on to the playoffs, where both the groups finally meet each other, right? Because last season, we had like one set of just within the group, and then we started clashing with each other. But this season, we had 2 round robins, so it feels very long that these groups have gotten used to each other. But what will happen when they start, fighting each other?
Well, before that, I think we really need to talk about the patch and how everything can be changed. We already have teams making it into the playoff, which is highlighted in yellow, and teams not making it to the playoff for 100%. Talon, the only team for now. But today, we might find out a team who might not be able to go into playoff from Group B too. And for their chances to go in, maybe because we have a packed team at the bottom, 3-5, 3-5, 3-5. Those are Sandbox Gaming, Brand Esports Game with lots of story to tell for those guys.
Exactly. So, you guys can see Fav possibly, depending on how they do today, they will make it into the finals for sure. But unlike Group A, it's a possibility where we'll have to wait until the last day of Group B to find out the bottom 2, because like G Clef said, 3-5, 3-5, 3-5. That's why, depending on what happens today, nobody gets 7 losses today.
Yeah, still, Fav Gaming can go up to the first place if they win today. If OGN drops, OGN enters if they drop. Because by head-to-head, from what I know, Fav Gaming is in the lead. They can actually take over that first place. So lots of important matches for all the teams. It's still end of the season even if you're in the playoff. Depends on where you end up. First, third from a group goes against second, fourth from the other group. So the matchup is going to matter a lot in the playoff. You can't get out of that anyhow. So here's the matchup. OG Nentus versus Sandbox Gaming. OPGG Sports versus Brand Esports. Fav Gaming versus GameWith. So in conclusion is actually number 1, 3, 2 on the left. Number 4, 5, 6 on the right. So top 3 teams versus bottom 3 teams.
All right, this is actually going to be very interesting because, Brand Esports and GameWith, we mention this every time we come to Group B. They're at the bottom 2 right now with Sandbox Gaming tied in match score. But we talk about the heads up, it's a little bit different. And now, before we get into anything else, it's a Korean versus Korean. OG Nentus versus Sandbox Gaming. And like G Clef said, depending on what happens to OG Nentus, Fav Gaming, they might take over that first place throne.
Yes, because OG Nentus lost to Fav Gaming and it was a 0-2. Big win for Fav Gaming too. So important match for OGN, but a lot more for, of course, Sandbox because they still have to go through Bren. They have one more match against Bren, and Bren is also near them in the standings and group. So it's gonna matter a lot for both of the teams. Okay, it's been a while. Dandelion actually coming back out for OG Nentus. It used to be TNT for a pretty long time. Dandelion played a lot in the beginning of the season, and now he's back on that 1v1 set against Icelaw. That's a pretty big matchup for the Korean teams.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting because this is like a repeat of Week 4 where Dandelion went up against Icelaw back in the day, and he was able to beat him 2-1. We remember Icelaw using that Royal Recruits against Dandelion, and then he came back with the counter and he beat him. But before we get into that 1v1, let's look at the bans. We have the Graveyard ban and the Baby Dragon ban.
So bans stay about the same. Baby Dragon, so which is Tornado Open. But we're on a different patch. We're seeing a lot more recruits, a lot more witches all around, even maybe wall breakers. They have been saying not just 1v1, 2v2 is a big option now for wall breakers. So let's see the spell, what it's gonna be. Bomb Tower, I've seen it in Grand Challenge on 10 wins, 11 wins. They're using bomb towers because of wall breakers.
Wall breakers, yep. Wall breakers causing a lot of meta changes here. We'll see if these guys decide to use it in the 2v2s here. But oh my goodness, like wall breakers is another thing, but witches. We've been seeing a lot of double witch decks coming out because of the witch changes, and there's a lot of talk about whether it's a buff or not. What do you think it is? It's a buff,
It's a
right?
buff.
Yeah.
There's no way it's a nerf. It's a change and a buff. Big buff, which does a whole lot of damage, destroy all the pups if you hit the lava at the right perfect timing at the end. So another big, well, it's pretty hard to do. It comes out from time to time, but actually quite not that rare. So not as much as Executioner, but still, which is a big threat. And with that giant, we see a lot of graveyard, lots of miners. So let's see how many witches we're gonna have today, starting from this 2v2 here.
Yeah, it's, you know, I'm very excited because after the patch, there's so many small and big changes to a lot of the units that it just feels like a huge update where the meta shift will be like, you'll be able to notice the meta shift. It's not a small meta shift. It's gonna be deck changing all in and out.
Get ready for that 2v2. Graveyard Baby Dragon Man. Here's the first 2v2 of the day. OGN Entus at the bottom in blue. Sandbox Gaming on top. Yeah, both 2v2 matters a lot. Of course, there's Dandelion versus Ice Law waiting in 1v1. So far, just miners.
So we do have the Fisherman to get that miner off. So in the sense of defending, OGN Entus got the early chips first.
Yeah, we see a lot of miners, but do we also stay with the lava when Tornado is allowed? Let's see the upcoming cards very soon. Skeleton Barrel maybe hinting that we might actually have a few more spells like the Clone. There's that first Tornado.
That is true. So the Tornado's open, so we may just be seeing some clones like Chiclef said, or even Giant Skeletons come back with, to be used with the Tornado, depending if they feel like doing so. But the Royal Recruits do come down. A lot more of them these days. Double Royal Recruit decks in 2v2s.
Ever since last week, especially in 2v2. A trendy card, I would say, in Royal Recruits. And then what else? Just the miners? Another Royal Recruits.
Yeah. And of course, from Sandbox Gaming, we do see that Giant Skeleton coming in here, probably holding on to that Tornado to be used later on when, you know, they're going to get a great value out of it.
There's still a lot of units for OGN Entus to actually push in. Okay, just sending in the miners. Sandbox, countering it back.
Nice Tornado to drag everything in. I was going to say that's a nice minor placement by Sandbox to get the attention of the Executioner, so the Scale Barrel could go, but Tornado was used to drag that back in.
Yes, Executioner, yeah, one of the best defensive tool right now with this patch. And Tornado Executioner basically deletes almost everything in just a few hits.
Yep. And it's kind of unfortunate for Sandbox Gaming because OGN brought the double Royal Recruit deck, which means the Giant Skeleton won't be getting through to the tower because they also have the Fisherman. So even though OGN doesn't have a building, it doesn't matter because there's so much other cards to defend against that Giant Skeleton to not get to the tower.
Yeah, big catch is that OGN Entus, they've been putting big damage onto the right side, only using their Fisherman. Giant Skeleton doesn't really matter too much. But when you have that many recruits, you do a whole lot more with the miner.
Exactly, and even for Sandbox Gaming, they have the Goblin Cage just in case they need to, you know, gather the Royal Recruits that cross the bridge. And right now, OGN Entus, it doesn't feel like they have an answer to what Sandbox Gaming has brought other than the miner chip that's been going on the top right. Yeah. Finally, they decide to use a Tornado to activate the King Tower.
Yeah, they were waiting for the miner placement. It was always onto the right bottom. So using that land miner finally, but with that Executioner hit onto the left, that was big. 590 left now. So bad news all over for Sandbox.
Right,
Game's not over yet, but big damage is needed with that Fireball and Rocket. The game is actually over. So OGN keeping it calm, good defense. Royal Recruit back-to-back against the Skeleton, Fisherman to make sure so their recruits actually are safe to cross the bridge after. Focus the damage to the Minor Poison as Executioner, Tornado just in case. So everything in order, okay? This one against the Giant Skeleton, another one against possibly Graveyard or anything air. So those two type of different defense by OGN just made it perfect.
Yeah, exactly. The Royal Recruits, it helps you one card itself can defend and go attack, and it does so many different things. It's able to defend against so many big units, like even if a P.E.K.K.A comes out, Graveyard, like G-Clef said, Giant Skeleton, it does the role of defending with multiple units. It sometimes even does the role of a building where, you know, you need to keep some units at the bridge and not cross, and for recruits, they do it.
Doesn't drag the units that go straight into the building, but still when you're just up against a giant skeleton, no RG or no like Ram Rider to charge into those, or no Hog Riders, and I think you're still good. Even if it was the case, enough amount of Royal recruits for them to actually poke in and do a whole lot of damage. So this time OGN seemed really clear. Sandbox, they had an option with the miner, but just not enough as a defensive tool to make it near perfect as OGN did.
That is very correct, because like we said, OGN just having double Royal recruits, just the perfect defensive tool for any ground units.
Yeah, game 2. Let's see what changes Sandbox will bring. I think OGN will just keep the same unless there's something else going on.
It's just so good right now. Oh, Sandbox, they're going to bring their own recruits here. Do the same minor chip with the recruits for defense, offense.
And the Valkyrie onto the left, though. Okay,
and
needed the Executioner.
Bomb Tower, just to bring the recruits together and do the aerial damage, of course. Sandbox, they brought the Goblin Cage last game, but it did not do them so good. So they changed that to a Bomb Tower, which is a lot better to go up against ground group units.
So yeah, good snowball from Sandbox there, pushing the Executioner. So no real big swing onto the tower or the Musketeer at all. So again with the log, chips in some more damage from Sandbox.
Alright, so basically right now, basically even here with the decks even. They might just be playing the same decks. The mirror challenge.
The big difference will be the spells, and the fact that Sandbox already has a Bomb Tower against all the recruits coming. OGN, if it's the same, they have a Rocket again, but without that spell, which is going to be held for a long time, they don't really want to use a Tornado here. I'm guessing it's a Tornado with the Executioner again.
But like you said, the Bomb Tower, I think that may be the critical difference here. Unless OGN has something else, there we go, the Bomb Tower. So now the critical defense has just nullified itself, because both of them will be able to use the Bomb Tower to drag in the Royal recruits. However, they're both doing some chip damage here, top right and bottom right.
Yeah, interesting as the recruits actually don't like counter each other perfectly. There are other units, other cards dropping down all the time. Okay, that Musketeer does take a hit from the Mega Minion, which is not what OGN wanted exactly. Still a good setup, about the same HP on the lowest.
Alright, there we go. Sandbox opting to use the early rockets. They're going to build up the spell damage. There we go, answered by OGN as well. So now it's going to just be going down, because both of them, they know they have a very similar deck, or even possibly the same deck in a couple decks. And spell damage, that's going to be the answer for both of them.
Let's get the drag and activates the King Tower. So yeah, bad news for Sandbox. They have spells, but a lot more damage already put in by OGN Entus. They need to spell cycle and have a near perfect defense. That's all they need. Right, another rocket.
Fight of the spells. Who can defend the recruits plus the spell and just cycle through the cheap units really quickly. There we go.
And with a fireball, I think OGN secures it, unless Sandbox puts in everything in just the next 2 seconds.
That's still not going to be good enough. Even if that poison goes through, it's still not enough damage.
They need a few more right now, but a good log defending against those miners and the Tornado together. Not enough in damage in time for Sandbox. And game 2, OGN Entus, a big win for them. Again, keeping their first place seems totally possible today.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was a very clean win against 2v2. OGN Entus, they brought the double recruits from the start. And even if Sandbox actually tried to counter it or even it out by bringing the same decks, OGN Entus, they were still able to do more chip damage early with the miner and then build up the spell damage a little bit before Sandbox started doing it. It was close though.
Yeah, good set of spells. And good held by OGN to look for those perfect chances to draw in the miner. Because when you have a Royal recruit, the push is pretty slow. when you have a bomb tower against 2 or 3, you're good on at least one side of the game. Like left or right, whatever you choose, just keep on having it. And the big difference of first one was actually OGN having a Valkyrie. Valkyrie helps a lot, not just the road recruit, to tank all the shots.
Exactly, and as you were saying that, you caught the moment where the Executioner threw 2 axes. That's just a ton of damage on the top left. Because I was focusing on the top right where they did a lot of damage, but double axe from the Executioner, that was just too big. And here, this is the moment where they started building up the spell damage, but like I said, the early minor chip that OGN did better than Sandbox, it just helped them do, you know, a couple more 100 damage, and they were able to beat Sandbox.
And not just the spells, the amount of damage you were able to do with the recruits. Few more pokes. It was actually done by Sandbox on the bottom left at the beginning first minute. How OGN held it right after and saying, okay, we gotta reinforce a little bit more towards the left side. And then they switched position, like not just 3-3, have 4-2 on 1, 4-2 on 1, making it harder for a perfect defense for themselves too. But they pull it off really well with the spells. So that's 2v2. Now on Crown Thunder, that duo looks really strong in the season. Looking for them to play well in the playoffs too. And here comes the player, what should I say? The man who brought the Royal Recruits into the league.
Yeah.
The man who had the Royal Recruits when no one else had it, no one else in China, no one else in the West had it. This player had it.
That's all we need to say. Now look at it. Now look at how much Royal Recruits are being used. It's just amazing to see that happen. But Islaw, on the other hand, the man that joined Sandbox this season, he has been wrecking FaZe. However, he did have a small downfall. We'll see if he's able to come back because Dandelion, it's a revenge match for Islaw because he used that recruit against Dandelion. He beat him. And then Dandelion got angry. He came back 2-1 and he beat Islaw. So that was week 4. That was way back. So now with all the patches, with all the updates, with all the meta changes, we'll see if Islaw will be able to do it.
Yeah, what deck do they actually use?
Yeah.
That's the main problem. There are a lot of meta decks. It's only been less than 4 days since the new patch. And they're shifting gears from the Grand Challenge, expecting a few more Giants to come out today. Still Graveyard seems one of the best options, but along with a few different cards, like instead of the Cage, just having a Witch in there actually gives a lot of boost in any kind of decks right now. We'll see what happens. Game 1 between Islaw and Dandelion. You know that Witch actually blocks Hog and Remradder perfectly.
The damage buff, the 220%, that's just insane.
Just off to Miner with the lock combination.
Alright.
So what exactly Dandelion is thinking?
There we go. I was thinking, you know, we're talking so much about the regular Witch. The Night Witch, I love the Night Witch change as well. The 4 bats coming out. Oh, just lovely. Just seeing for Islaw, possibly just another Lava Hound deck. Let's see how Dandelion... Well, Dandelion does have the Hunter. The Hunter did get a 2% attack buff, so we'll see. Depending on the placements, he might be able to defend well against the Lava Hound.
Yeah, keeps the Miner onto Fresh at the bottom left with a good zap. Resets Inferno, so the Golden Giant is going to reach the tower just a little bit. Still has the Hunter. Yeah, Fresh 100%.
Nice. Even though I never like seeing the Hunter do its max range, when it's this kind of situation, when it's able to break a new Goblin Cage that was put down, it's just perfect for Dandelion.
So those have the Hunter and also the Night Witch against all the air units. The Lava comes out. Even if Islaw brings a whole lot, I think Dandelion's okay. He's got 2 options.
Yeah.
And against the Pups, you can take the damage from the Pups. To just zap it, or you have a lot of bats from the Night Witch too.
Yeah.
So whichever you want to do it.
Yeah, now that when the Night Witch dies, 4 bats spawn, you can even allow it to tank a little bit if you have nothing else, and then the bats will pop out and help defend it against it as well. And another zap reset on that Infernal Dragon.
No, it was a lightning.
Oh, it was a lightning, and I think Dandelion used a zap.
Also, lightning from Islaw.
Yeah.
So maybe this is
Okay.
no longer a lava.
Okay.
Yeah, even
Or
with
it
a
is a
lava.
lava.
Interesting combination from Islaw with the spell. It is never the lightning. Never ever.
Yeah, if it's a lava, I think it should be the zap. But it is a lightning.
Okay, let's pull it down. So the Hunter takes care of the lava pretty easy.
Exactly.
And the real push does happen to the right. So not too much damage, actually, only 1,053. One pup's gonna connect to the tower, that's about it. So business is taken care of onto the left side.
Yeah, but the minor chip, it's actually adding up a lot. Like we said, the Lava Hound didn't do much, the pup didn't do much, but the minor did so much damage. There we go. Dandelion countering again with his own minor and the Goblin Giant.
And Islaw brings his lightning and the zap together.
Oh,
bring-
okay, there we go. I see.
They
his zap.
bring a whole lot into it. So overall, with the chip damage for a few more small units and also with the bats and the log, Dandelion was able to put in about 400 more.
So many bats.
Yeah, so this is what we're talking about.
Correct.
The bats, the death from the Night Witch brings out 4 bats now. So against pubs, it's actually really good,
Yeah.
really good.
And look at this. Spear Goblins from the Goblin Giant locked onto the Princess Tower, and that is just GG. Dandelion gets a win here, clean. But yeah, with the Night Witch coming out, you know, we were talking about how, yeah, when the lava comes and you don't have anything else, just put the Night Witch down, it'll do the job for you. It'll tank the pups, it'll help get rid of the Lava Hound with the bat's attack speed being so fast. Gosh, Dandelion just keeping up to date with the updates.
Islaw didn't have too many changes, but with the different spell in his lava, which did surprise me a lot, to be honest. Dandelion just going in, because right now is a time where you mix up a lot of things, see which one works a little bit better, especially against the meta decks. What used to be the meta 4 days, 5 days ago. So lava, that's the first thing that you have to think about. Lava miner. What do I actually have? Okay, I have a zap, I have fireball, I have hunter, I have the fisherman just in case of like a giant skeleton. Even against graveyard, hunter is still okay. So this deck actually feels really great from Dandelion. Also, the spear goblins on top of that goblin giant does take care of a lot of those skeletons too. So I do like this deck. It's like an anti-meta deck basically.
Yeah, it definitely is. And you also have to mention that the Hunter being in there is because you talk about the meta deck, and we were talking about how the Double Witch Giant deck sometimes come out from time to time. We haven't seen it yet today, but just having the Hunter in there in Dandelion's deck, that also helps get rid of the Giants super, super fast. So yeah, like G-Cliff said, anti-meta deck that Dandelion has brought. We'll see what other deck he'll bring. Maybe he'll stick to the same thing, because right now, regarding the meta deck, Dandelion's deck is so good against the decks that's been coming out.
Yeah, but this is a day where it's super really important for your entire team to either you make it into a playoff or not. One game away. Sandbox, they're not at the bottom, but they're tied.
Yeah.
If they just lose one and the other 2 wins today, then they're going to be at the bottom. Correct. So you do need to bring the maximum amount of wins. And of course, the match right now, Islaw on the last hope. Today's not the final match for them, but this one matters a lot.
It will. It definitely will. Because the bottom 3 teams who are tied, 3 wins, 5 losses, they're all tied. Depending on any one of the 3 wins, they make it into the playoffs, most likely.
It is game 2. The match point possibilities are on the line for OG and Entus. Sandbox Gaming. It's a little tough right now. What kind of deck? Starting off with the Bandit. Maybe some spams.
Alright. Possibly expect some bridge spams here. I think Islaw, he just felt that he needed to keep up the pressure instead of getting pressured.
But he feels it already.
Yeah.
He might be in trouble with the upcoming air units. So yeah, grabbing the Fisherman actually did help to get those piercing shots from the Magic Archer. Dark Prince good set of defense, but not so perfect yet. But does he have a building card, Islaw?
Here we go. Like we suspected, the spams are coming through here, the bridge spams, and one Barbarian locks on. Oh, look at the Knight, not the Knight, the Witch's damage. It's so strong now.
Yep, and Pros has been saying, okay, you can bring your skeletons. I got my magic archers. But still locks onto the tower.
Oh,
Each hit,
beautiful.
200.
Look at this. Look at the damage that Icelaw took. Normally, a couple hits from the Witch, it wouldn't hurt this much. And he was actually countering the magic archer. Actually landed some piercing arrows on the bottom right, and it barely did anything.
The pull, and the bats will delete the bandit, so bridge spam incoming. But right after that P.E.K.K.A. Here comes the piggies. Onto the right side. Okay, it's connecting some. Let's see the build-up from Icelaw, though.
P.E.K.K.A. was left alone for a while. Buys even more time because it gets dragged to the center and then goes back.
Yeah, this is a variation with the Three Musketeer Royal Hogs. But a whole lot of attack into the fresh Battle on. Yeah, just charge in. P.E.K.K.A. still marching.
P.E.K.K.A. It gets a swing.
And that's a tower down. A one big push onto the left side from Icelaw. Still it goes on. With the Royal Hogs onto the left now from Dandelion. And Dark Prince getting a good amount of area damage onto all of them.
Oh, the Dark Prince tanked the double Musketeer so long and so well with the E-Wiz's help. It just allowed Icelaw to just stay alive on the top left side. And I was thinking in the beginning when I saw the Witch and we saw the P.E.K.K.A. Battle Ram deck, I was like, oh, the P.E.K.K.A.'s gonna have a hard time, but getting through with the Battle Ram at the bottom left was just great for Icelaw.
Yeah, big cycle push. Yeah, I don't think he's too happy about that game. Even though he won, he had a really good push. He had a lot of trouble trying to defend against those Royal Hogs because they all went to a single side. What if they were split? It was going to be a hectic situation for Icelaw. So he's thinking, okay, I won, but that wasn't what I actually planned on how I win the game of Game 2. So yeah, lots of questions for both players.
Definitely. Just even up to this point, all right, so Icelaw was thinking in his head, he didn't show the P.E.K.K.A. yet, and he's like, all right, the Witch is going to be so much of a big problem for the P.E.K.K.A. And then when he puts it behind and the Battle Ram lands, he knew it was over. With the Magic Archer supporting in the back to get rid of the skeletons, just in case the Witch was put down.
I think Dandelion in that middle was trying to pull the P.E.K.K.A. Not the Bandit dashing into it, but there were too many units, so you couldn't really choose the exact one. Bandit dash is a lot faster.
Alright. One game apiece.
Yep, and then what do you bring? Okay, we've seen the Witch, we've seen the Knight Witch, and then it's...
I still think Dandelion's deck from game number 1 is just such a stable deck that it could have possibly gone up against what Icelaw brought in game number 2.
Yeah, lots of ground unit. Troop unit seems needed right now, especially against those fishermen. Okay, game 3, the set deciding game between the two players. Comes the wall breakers, now 2 elixirs. Logs are great, but is this the bait?
Yep, the wall breaker bait for the log.
Okay, so far only the Valkyrie. So we see a whole lot of wall breakers, even with the Golem, and a lot more with the Giants, with the Dark Goblins. So a lot more baits coming out.
Definitely, we're gonna see the baits. The Fisherman pulls the Valkyrie. I think Icelaw wanted the pull so that his Valkyrie could just go straight through. And there we go, another wall breaker and only a Hunter. More than good enough.
If you have it placed it perfectly and the perfect reaction, it doesn't even get that far.
Okay, so we basically have a very similar deck.
Yeah, Icelaw does have a Fisherman, and Dandelion might or might not. Because it's like actually Fisherman does get to the tower and hits one.
Ugh. Okay. Go. Another bait, but that, like, Islaw, he's not using it, and the wall breakers. Both of them connect to the top left. A ton of damage for 2 elixirs.
800 damage. Goes in straight, and a good minor tank. It does not reach. What a great log. So Islaw had a Valkyrie placement miss there just by 1. If he placed it on 1 more to the left, wall breakers would have been going down. So with the miner trying that once again.
That was a 6 elixir defense only for the wall breakers for Islaw. That was huge. So this kind of trade is just going to hurt him. If the game goes on, if the game gets prolonged, it's going to hurt Islaw a lot. So another minor wall breaker that we've been seeing a lot, and this time, go to Valkyrie. Ooh, the skeletons actually help get rid of it.
Yeah, and they're still not too happy about using an extra set of skeletons. Wall breakers is gone. Islaw's not going to keep his spell at all. But hunter placement is important, and all that is important, of course, but actual damage has been done a lot onto the top.
Ooh, the poison. Yeah, I think, you know, the wall breaker, as long as you have the log and you have, you know, Dandelion has hunter, they both have hunter. Get rid of the miner ASAP with the log, and then it'll be no problem.
Yeah, choosing a spell is of course important, but against the wall breakers, log seems like the spell that you actually need. Okay, only this. So switching things up, Islaw a little more focus on left. So far, no wall breakers this time though.
He's just gonna keep it.
He's having a different cycle right now.
Correct.
So you're waiting for it.
Just the wall breakers to bait out the log, but the top left has taken so much damage for Islaw.
Islaw finds a way, trying to find a way back with the miner, but there's that skeleton defense. Hunter, pretty good, leading all those wall breakers. The bottom left, you don't even care about it at this moment. Connects to the fisherman, but offensive poison, that's another 200 plus damage.
Go. The hunter on the bottom left, not to worry about, but here we go. The wall breaker, yeah, will come. The Valkyrie in the front will take care of it. The miner chip in the back, though, he focused too much on the middle by the bridge, but the miner does get a couple slaps in.
Yeah, unless Dandelion makes a huge mistake of overusing his defensive elixirs, I think Islaw is going to have a tough time. Dandelion basically gets it, but this time that was near perfect defense. Still the poison damage comes through Islaw. Final shot. So minor wall breaker, same.
Good. Now, even with the lock push, the miner gets one hit and then locks onto the Valkyrie. More than good enough. There we go. With the last poison coming through, it will be GG.
And that's it. We've seen it, guys.
Yes.
The first wall breaker spell bait. And if you have a log, congratulations. If you don't have a log or the Barbarian Barrel, I don't know what you're going to do with it.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. We saw that Islaw had the giant snowball, but the log, it does so much more because the wall breakers, as we just saw with the bait, it's the minor wall breaker like 99% of the time, or even 100% of the time, unless you're literally just baiting the log with just the wall breakers. So the log pushing back the minor and getting it away from the Princess Tower so it locks onto another unit, I think that's a huge deal.
Yeah, even if Dandelion didn't get the perfect prediction onto the front on the miner, on a defensive miner, it was all really well covered by the log. And the fact that his own wall breaker is connected onto the top left, a slight, very, very slight mistake from Islaw, because you have to defend left and right and attack at the same time. So a big, hard game for both of the players, but it is OG and Entus taking the first game, and they will secure their spot. First place of Group B, basically, for the entire regular season. So that's good news for them. Sandbox Gaming, oh no. Let's see what happens towards the end of the day and where we end up. Next up is OPGG Sports versus Brand Esports. Another really important match for both of the teams. Stay tuned.
일단 이겨서 기분 좋고 앞으로도 많은 경기 남아있으니까 더 열심히 하고 싶습니다. 다른 프로게이머들은 잘 모르겠는데 저는 되게 멘탈이 좋은 편이라 가지고 그래서 앞으로 더 잘하자는 마음으로 계속 했고 그게 잘 먹혀가지고 지금 잘할 수 있는 것 같아요.
우리가 덱을 준비하는 과정에서 계속 상성이 먹히고 가는 그런 것 때문에 진 거라고 생각을 했고 그런 것들만 조금 보완을 한다면 우리가 이길 수 있다고 생각했습니다.
제 자작극입니다. 덱 선수를 상대할 때 가장 경계했던 게 벌룬 덱, 그리고 페카 덱, 호그, 석궁 이런 게 있는데 그 덱들을 전부 다 카운터 치기에 좋은 카드가 일렉트로 드래곤이기 때문에 그 카드를 넣어서 같이 쓰면은 제가 거의 질 일이 없다 생각해가지고 그런 덱 구성을 했어요. 근데 오히려 고마웠어요. 전 상대방 덱을 다 알고 있으니까 상대방의 약점을 빠르게 파악하고 그렇게 시행했던 게 되게 잘못했던 것 같아요. 딱 여기서 손패가 저는 꽤 괜찮다 생각하거든요. 이게 얼버과 토네이도도 있고 공격 각도도 있기 때문에. 근데 갑자기 여기서 고우리. 갑자기 고우리가 뭐지? 그래서 다프 그 무덤 있잖아요. 그건가? 하고 지금 살짝 고민하고 여기서 토네이도 쓰는데 쓰자마자 바로 로자 나오고
이때 로자 들어오는 거 보고 어땠어?
이때 이거 되게 칼 타이밍이다 생각했어요.
너 덱인지는 알고 있었어?
여기까지는 잘 몰랐어요. 근데 광부가 들어오고 나서 그때부터 알았어요.
와 여기서 너무 많이 맞았어 로자한테.
아 맞아, 여기서 1드 나올 때 여기 1대 나올 때 이때 알았다. 이때
아 여기서 첫 광부인데 솔직히 광독덱에서 첫 광부에서 킹타 열리면 거의 게임이 불리하잖아.
그렇죠.
이때 느낌이 어땠어?
네, 이거 홈 버튼 누를까? 그 정도? 여기서 터피가 엄청나게 차이 나가지고
그러니까 거의 2배 가까이 차이 나네.
그래서 열심히 해야 돼요.
근데 상대방도 맞아주는 플레이를 해.
네, 계속 맞아주더라고요. 여지를 주는 플레이를 계속 하더라고요.
근데 상대방이 다른 덱은 다 보여줬는데 스펠 하나를 안 보여줬잖아. 난 이때 사실 반전하면서 번개이면 이거 진짜 큰일 났다 생각을 했는데 너는 어땠어?
저도 번개이면 진짜 큰일 났고 지마에게 그냥 불려야죠. 그래서 더 맞으면 안 되니까 통나무도 써주고.
상대방도 어쨌든 로자는 토네이도까지 있으면 수비가 어느 정도 가능하기 때문에 광부대만 안 들어오면 이길 수 있다고 생각을 했고 여기서 상대방 바통 굴릴만 한데
계속 여지를 주.
맞아주고 여기서도 근데 얼법이
이걸 못 이긴.
그러니까 여기서 여기 살짝 위험한데 그리고 광부까지 같이 들어올 거 아니야.
그래서 살짝 큰일 났다 생각했어요.
나도.
토네이도를 공격적으로 쓸 줄은 몰랐어요.
다행히 여기서 얼법 살아가지고.
네. 근데 이 정도 하면 아직도 할만함. 네.
여기서 광부. 여기서 광부 예측이 안 됐다면 정말 힘들었을 것 같은데.
네.
다행히.
근데 덱이 좀 뻔하게 들어왔어요. 계속 광부를. 계속 저 위치에 들었던 거 같은데.
여기서.
근데 제가 어느샌가 또 많이 때려놨어요. 지금 보면 또.
맞아. 따라갔어. 따라가고 여기 광부. 여기서 1드가.
1드 스플래시.
난 1드가 때릴 줄은 생각도 못했어.
저는 살짝 때리는 것 같았어요. 느낌이.
여기서 1드가 때리면서 마무리했지.
야.
너가 근데 맞는데 이기니까 어때?
근데 이런 건 처음이라 가지고 갑자기 제가 맞는 덱을 갑자기 복제할 수 있는 꿈에도 못했는데 진짜.
그래 오늘 잘했던 것 같아.
알아요.
월드 파이널
가자.
let's go.
And welcome back to Clash Royale League Asia. We have the second match of the night. What an important one. OPGG Sports, 3rd place versus Brain Esports, 5th place of Group B.
Yep, I was just doing a small calculation, and all 3 games, Brent Esports that are playing right now, game with that's going to be playing after, is just also important. We'll see what happens here today. We both get the fighting, hands thrown up in the air. Manon GP doing some DJing in the background.
Yeah, OPGG's up there with 4-4, but there are 3 teams right below them with 3-5. So similar story here where OPGG would lose and the rest of the pack. Sandbox did drop a Brand Esports game, but if they win their matches tonight, then they will be tying things up. So it's important for OPGG to run away, maybe get into the playoff. Of course, for Brand Esports, for them to win and come up to the top 4.
Exactly, and it's very, very even more important for Bren because they have the highest set wins. So even if they're tied later on with game with or even Sandbox, they will still be able to come out on top and be 4th place.
Okay, wait. Expo Master is back in 2v2 with Dabong. It's not the first time, and they actually have a really good win rate.
Yep.
Compared to the more frequent 2v2, but in this important match,
good catch. Because do you know why? I think this is exactly the same as week 4. Even before the match with Ogenentis and Sandbox, the 2v2 and the 1v1 players were exactly the same. For this, OPGG and Bren Esports also identical. So OPGG beat Bren with this roster. That's probably why they just brought it out again.
okay. Maybe it just works better for the 2v2, but it seemed a little bit surprising for them to actually stick to one side of things for the half of the season.
Yeah.
And then just suddenly just comes back and forth, which was never the case of OPGG. If you know their history, they just stick with a lot of the same players and put either Expo Master or someone else, mostly Expo Master. But last season did not have the best season. This season, towards the end, it seems like he's having a lot better of a time. But right now, even with Dabong TV, just Dabong here, Dabong TV, it has been his ID for such a long time, for about 2.5 years that I was casting him. So that's just stuck to my tongue here.
Yeah.
But still 2-1-2-1. And what they have prepared was actually a lot of cycle. Weird ones, even with some Hogs or Rams. Even with the Royal Hogs, let's see how they change up with this many recruits popping out.
Yeah, and look at this. Now on the side of Bren Esports, it's very awkward to see Bren Esports players just having a record like this, a negative record, because they used to be last season one of the best teams. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, today's match for Bren is very important. They need to win. They almost secure the top 4 if they win today. Not 100%, but because, like I said, the set, the games, they're higher the game with. They're higher than Sandbox.
They're higher than Sandbox. Their last match, Bren's last match is actually up against Sandbox. So this one is a good start if they grab the win for Brand Esports. Game 1 time of 2v2. Gent Skeleton, no Tornado this time. So do you think we're going to see a lot more recruits or just back to Graveyard Freeze?
Yeah. Graveyard Freeze, I think, is a viable deck, but here we go with the Skull Barrel with the Miner. Okay, so Bren, you see the Dark Goblin, and when you see that, it's like, all right, get ready for Graveyard, right?
Yeah, Graveyard. Yeah, actually placed all the way onto the right. Yeah, answered with the tier, but only freeze. The Valkyrie's on it. That's already half HP. More than half HP gone.
Goodness.
Oi.
That freeze right there, it forced them to just use so much extra elixirs to defend against it because the Valkyrie was on it. The skeletons, if you saw the skeletons, there was like 8 just literally just lining up.
And the wall breakers going straight along with the double Miner. The Valkyrie swing, log. Yeah, good defense.
All right. A couple of the skeletons actually scratch onto the bottom right, but the double miner, I think, if they continue with this, the chip damage will be humongous, and OPGG is not in trouble.
Yeah, did the Ewis just came down a little too early before the skeletons pop? That's what I'm guessing. I switched my eyes over just a little too late.
Yeah.
Another graveyard, but a defensive poison this time. So, yeah, no freeze. Or better not have a freeze.
No freeze coming through. All right, the wall breakers not going to be doing too much. Brent, they didn't even need to use anything to defend against it because they already had the Rascal and the Musketeers.
Yeah, that snowball actually didn't do too much. It just created more effect in the back. And they had some elixirs to just throw it out, so okay, not bad for Bren in terms of defense.
Yeah, this is actually what they did last time. They just put down the Ewis earlier.
Early on?
Yeah,
Okay.
so they don't want even the death damage to get near the Princess Tower.
Getting the results done, just a straight rocket. Catching one bat though, that's good.
Yeah, one bet for a rocket is good, but yeah, this just tells that they're building up the spell damage. Another graveyard on the bottom right.
And with the Rascals,
Oh
the Princess
my
Tower,
goodness.
Yeah, doesn't even care about it. OPG, they're going for their own attack miner. Locks onto a few shots. Okay, they do have a rocket, so let's see the setup for the next push.
Yeah, right now, BGG, they're just going to have to counter push on the right side, just defend a little bit on the left. Rocket is going to be good enough. There we go. Basically, it's a reset. They're both Princess Towers are pretty healthy other than the poison damage they took.
You see a reset, but when the graveyard has to deal with the King Towers, even if you have the freeze, it's just a little worse. A lot worse. You have to have a perfect freeze, and you can place all the units around the freeze where it's going to be. You probably know where it's going to be, so OPG is going to have an easier time predicting where it's going to be.
Correct. And as they know that, they're going to just constantly push to the chip damage with the spell damage adding up. OP might just have a little bit of a slightly advantage game here.
Yeah, I'd say a big advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Even though their King Tower HP is pretty low. To have a rocket, okay, no real big chance right now. Just sending a miner, nothing too big. And a graveyard to the King Tower.
Oh.
That's brilliant.
Okay. The skeletons, a couple of them are locking on because the Dark Prince and the Rascal Boy took the attention away from the King Tower for a couple of moments there. Not too much though, only roughly like 180 damage.
Yeah, a few of the skeletons connecting all the way towards the bottom, but that was about it. Inferno Towers locked in. Rascals drop right on top, getting all the shots.
Oh, skeletons adding up. Defensive poison finally used. They noticed that it had to be used after taking like 700-800 damage.
And a sudden big push. Wallbreaker is gone. Miner is the only one that connects, so a lot of the small units just gone from that attack. And OPGG, okay, they spent their defensive poison last time. This one seems like a freeze.
Oh, yeah. There we go with the freeze and the skeleton locks on.
The defensive Ewis with the spawn. Ooh. And the skeleton actually locks onto the Princess Tower a lot more compared to the King Tower. So both options for Bren.
Yeah, that was dangerous because Bren's Scale Barrel was actually getting all these shots from the King Tower and the Princess Tower for a moment.
That was dangerous. Fisherman actually pulled the wall breaker, almost went into the Princess Tower.
Here we go. Another graveyard. They have to defend this almost perfectly now. There's only 695.
Good read with the Rascals and the Dark Prince all the way in the bottom, so no skeletons. Yeah, none.
Okay.
None of them actually catch on and do the damage to the King Tower. Nice. And also Valkyrie answered really well.
40 seconds. Are we actually going to get a TKO here in a 2v2?
Okay, wall breakers. Don't do anything. Skeletons popping out with the offensive
poison this time, 300.
Yeah, snowball in defense. But the next poison is going to finish it, so OPG right now, everything with the rocket.
Look at this. Nice log, but the bats do connect. That's not going to be good enough, and the cycle is almost done for Bren.
The bats were about to connect, and the defensive bats came out, so it actually did not attach the Princess Tower. So Bren looking for the final spell to finish off the King. That's an offensive poison from OP, but just for the last heck of a second. The rocket, but we go down to the final. destination. Boom.
All right, so great play by Brent Esports, not focusing on the Princess Tower. They just decided to go for that wider King Tower with the Scale Barrel in the pocket to get the attention away from the Princess Tower and the King Tower. A couple of skeletons locking on, forcing OPGG to use more than the units that they wanted to defend against that graveyard.
Yeah, Brand, great idea to go for the King Tower. It was half HP already. And the one who just called out, okay, Graveyard so much harder with the King Tower activated. But it was worse of a situation for OP because they had wall breakers with the King Tower activated. So many small units, but look at the cards that Brent actually has. They have Rascals, Dark Prince, Valkyrie. So against all those small skeletons and goblins and all the things that you're going to get, they're wiped in just a swing.
Yeah, I think Brent, they just, not only Brent, but most of the players in 2v2 and 1v1, they're in some way prepping for a wall breaker to come out. We're seeing so much, we're basically seeing Valkyrie every single game right now. At least one deck has the Valkyrie in it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, those are going to be the type of moments. We're seeing some Valkyrie, even last week, before the patch, but not this many.
Yeah.
Certainly not this many. We're seeing it with some Executioner, with some RG, with some Royal Hogs, because there were apparently there's plenty of Royal Hogs.
Yeah.
And Valkyries are pretty good against Royal Hogs too. So because of the patch, yeah, there are some indirectly affected cards like the Valkyrie right now, as we can see. And the spells, having the perfect poison and the freeze was actually one of the biggest one. The first freeze that connected, let the half HP Valkyrie connect to the tower and survive. That was the key for Brent.
Yeah, that one freeze with the Valkyrie, so much damage. But I think if OP was able to do something about that freeze, they weren't so far back, getting pushed. It's just that one freeze with the Valkyrie and the skeletons connecting just pushed back OP so far behind that they couldn't come back. They were always just behind Brent Esports, whatever they did.
Yeah. Early freeze, you don't really expect that. You expect the freeze to come out towards the end or when there's a perfect push, not at the beginning. First, you're just cycling few cards, and then all of a sudden, boom! So Brent Esports, great play there. So that's the reason why they grabbed game one. Next game. Here we go between OPGG Sports, Brent Esports. Even had to use a timeout.
All right, well, they know that this is an important game. I wouldn't be surprised if OP just decided to bring their own graveyard.
Of course, Graveyard is still one of the best 2v2 deck.
And an Expo.
Let's see how the spam works, Musketeer. So far, only the Golem were recruits. Okay, Brent has a good answer against the Expo. But see the follow-up spells. For now, log. Second log.
Okay. They want to do whatever it takes to defend that Expo. The Musketeer's full HP right now.
Having a second log actually helps OP so much.
It does. Especially when Royal Recruits. When I saw the Royal Recruits, I was like, oh my goodness, the Expo is done. But the double log, the Valkyrie in the front, I think that's going to be pretty good for defending that Expo, keeping that alive.
Okay, that Musketeer was locked onto the Expo. It's gone, so less of a problem to deal with, but actually a lot more damage from those leftover Royal Recruits onto the bottom left.
All right.
Yeah, because when you have the Expo, you have to focus everything to that Expo. You just have to place it around it. The other side, you just do not have enough attention or elixir for that.
Yeah, see, that's the good thing about Royal Recruits. Even though you do a 2-4 split, the Recruits are going to lock onto the Princess Tower, and even now, the Infernal Tower right at the bridge with the Teslas. I don't think this is still going to be good enough, though. The Musketeer once again locks onto the Expo. When that happens, regardless of how many spells and units you bring to protect the Expo, if one unit like a Musketeer locks on, it's already done.
Second slap from the Fisherman, that's crazy a lot of damage, about 1,000 done already. Royal Recruits, and they have another one. Yeah, Mono going to be holding in that amount of elixirs.
They're going to mix in a graveyard with it. The 3 Recruits will be there, locking on
Double
the
log onto the left. Miscommunication
Yep.
on that moment. Still has to drop on the U-Ways for the spawn damage.
Good
Expo
catch.
did not even connect at all.
Good catch. And the Baby Dragon connects one, and the Musketeer even connects two. OP's Musketeer. Not great here.
Yeah, so the defensive Expo has to come down. We were saying last week, yeah, Expo defensive pretty good because it's away from the graveyard, but still gets all the skeletons down.
All right, well, I was thinking in my head, first defensive Expo and then into the offensive because it's a 2v2. They both brought the Expo, so they have the time to do that. But look at this, the poison, max value.
Gets a lot of value for sure. Okay, just one log this time. Okay, still not the perfect defense, even though it seems like OPGG is trying to set up for their own attack. It's actually never connecting.
It's not. They put down the Valkyrie, they put down the Musketeer, even the Tesla not working out. This time, the Valkyrie gets in front. It might actually work out, but the bottom left.
Okay, Ewis does come save the day with the spawn damage.
The Expo connected, and
Finally.
it's very, very healthy. They had to use defensive freeze. That was nice. They needed to stop that Expo. It was too healthy.
Oh, a couple more hundreds before it actually went down by the Baby Dragon. So big attack does come down finally, but at a big cost. 629, the bottom one.
They know that putting down the road recruits will buy them some time with the graveyard at the bottom left. Also, a little bit more damage coming through, but that Expo.
Yeah, good timing with the Dark Prince, making sure you don't get hit by the Valkyrie too much when it spins around.
All right, I think if Bren just cycles through to the graveyard constantly, the small chip damage will give them the victory here.
Okay, let's see the defense. That Fireball didn't catch too many. There's that freeze.
freeze!
The Royal Recruits get to it.
Oh my goodness.
Log is not enough, and that's Bren. Big, big comeback. Oh, and
Holy.
they take it. I mean, those Royal Recruits and OPGG brings Expos.
GG.
What a game. You're not going to have an Expo connect. That was a lucky connect. It connected a lot, but still, Brand was opening up so much more onto the left side.
Yeah, just the deck choice, the deck counter. The Royal Recruit itself, split push plus against an Expo is just perfect defense when they brought both of them. We had a double Expo versus a double Recruit, so no, that itself just explains everything.
And when you have that many buildings, you need to have the Tesla. Sometimes on the right next to it, right next to the bridge, so it takes the shot instead, and it goes down. So OPGG, they were wasting some of Tesla time and not taking the damage. If the Tesla takes some damage, sometimes the Expo just stays alive for that time being, and then it connects later on. So great games on and through game 1 and also game 2.
Yeah, game number 1, I think it was a lot closer, obviously. Game number 2, the deck counter was just too huge that one lucky connect wasn't going to be good enough. But game number 1, the graveyard, and you see that Bren is sticking with the graveyard here, and they know how it works. The RNG from the spawns, the freeze, defensive freeze. Having that freeze, always when you have that graveyard, it just so much things you can do with it. Not only for a Princess Tower or King Tower freeze, but a defensive freeze like that. Just buys you time, buys you health.
Yeah, at this moment, yeah, OP basically knew by throwing down that Fireball, okay, this push is way too big. Even if that Fireball went into the Recruits, it only removes the shields.
Yeah.
It actually had most of them actually had the shields coming onto the left side. So they knew it, that's why the Fireball was basically like a miss there. Okay, with that big win, yeah, Brent coming in here to the 1v1 with a 1-0.
All right, well, the 2v2 pair got the win. They got the revenge. Jai just needs to beat Huni, and they get the win, they get the revenge. And that's not the important part anymore. They secure, not 100%, but most likely getting into the top 4 by getting a win, because one of the 3 wins, 5 loss team, which was Sandbox, just got a loss just before. So getting a win here is going to just keep them calm at bay, even if Game With wins the next game.
Yeah, but they do need to have. Yeah, this one actually doesn't. does bring them closer to the
Yeah.
playoff for sure. But they need to win this one and maybe the next one too.
Yeah.
So big missions for them. Yeah, Jai's up here. You don't want to go against King of the Hill against OPGG, but they've got a great roster too. Like last time, Manong GP was destroying that 1v1 at just having back-to-back win. So let's see what happens if Granny Sports closes this one out or OPGG comes back big from Huni. Yeah, OP Huni at the bottom in blue. Jai from Brandy Sports on top. Royal Hogs.
Okay. The Witch comes out, of course. So much damage.
You mean so many skeletons?
Yeah. Should have said that first.
4 more.
Okay. Oh, and I was talking about this, how when the Witch dies, no more skeleton spawns. I think I love that. For me, in a way, that just got, oh my gosh.
But the motor, the Ice Spirit gets it away from it, and he's not scared of that. It all takes one shot in the face, but still the miner does connect and has a second card. It is a Valkyrie now.
Well, not perfect, but one hog gets through, gets a chip onto the Princess Tower, but...
Yeah, a lot more control and cycle. I thought I was going to see a lot more bait with the wall breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Dark Goblins. And a few of those smaller troop cards instead.
Now that Huni knows that Motor is just too safe, he's gonna send the miner, even though he was using the miner for the chip. Just gonna sacrifice that once. Nice Hogs, nice Valks, and still getting small chips going through for Jai. So as long as he just continues this with the Royal Hogs and possibly even just split the Hogs from time to time, I think Jai might just be able to kind of force Huni to constantly put down that Infernal Tower, just force him to defend rather than focus on offense.
Okay, Jai does have a deck that can fit in EQ at the end. If he finds a good time, if he has an EQ against an Infernal Tower, that's another option. But this wall breaker does connect, that's 400.
All right, nice Infernal Tower here for that mortar.
It is the poison, not the EQ. Still finds a good use against the Witch, leading all the skeletons.
Once again, that one wall breaker connecting was huge. And now Huni, he knows that he can constantly pressure. It's just all about pressuring, especially for Huni, because he doesn't want a perfect setup for the mortar. He doesn't want the Royal Hogs getting through.
Yeah, Ice Spirit connects to the mortar, so bringing it down.
So good.
Yeah, and your Inferno takes a whole lot, of course. It goes down a lot quicker. Compared to a long time ago. Here we go.
Oh, this one's gonna be... Oh, cycles back to the Infernal Tower, buys a lot more time here.
Okay, Wallbreaker actually did get this, get into the swing damage with the Valkyrie from Jai. That's why they're really low.
Perfect. The Witch was put down, but the Valkyrie placement just so good.
Motor already locked onto the Princess Tower.
Oh, that's gonna be big.
Nothing from the bottom. Valkyries.
The Valkyrie also connects.
And the Piggies, the motor, everything is connecting. That's a win for Jai.
Yeah.
The moment you waste your wall breakers when they are, the moment you put them down when they take damage, that's, so I guess it's 2 now. So it's 1 less of an elixir value.
Yeah. And it's very, like, the moment he put it down, the Valkyrie was in range, and it got that swing as it was put down from the get-go, so...
Yeah, I think maybe Huni wanted to time it just a little later. Maybe thought Jai's Valkyrie was going to die earlier, so he could have a wall breaker push.
Yeah, because he had that miner there tanking, and...
Yeah, all the way in the back.
So if even, like this time, if one gets on, it's just perfect value for wall breakers.
Yeah, with the miner in the back, you usually get at least a spell. Because usually with the drop time, you have to react to it, and then it comes down just like 0.6 seconds after. So usually you can't really just have the wall breaker going down without using any kind of spell unless you had something else set up before.
Yeah, and even right now, just this moment where the Witch was put down for Huni and the Valkyrie was right at the bridge and just gets rid of it, that also was basically a bad trade for Huni because the Valkyrie literally didn't allow the Witch to do anything. It got one shot off and then died.
Yeah, there's some really great cash. Yeah. The step ahead from Jai play.
Yeah.
Skeletons, perfect predictions with the miner. Yeah, motor, like really offensive miner. Not the miner. Motor placement, and also a timing faster, so you don't really expect that to come out that fast. So quick cycle coming out from Giant takes game one more.
Game 2.
One more game. It's actually match point for Bren. What's going on?
I don't know, man.
It's a day for Bren Esports.
If Bren wins and OP loses, they also tie up. Right now, OP is on top of Bren, but that's not going to be for much longer if Bren wins here today. It's not even only about Bren possibly making it into top 4. It's just bringing down OPGG Sports at the same time.
Miner bats with an E-Wiz.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. The same deck's coming through for Huni here. He's going to try to make it work a little bit better.
Yeah, let's just, instead of all the baits, let's just call it minor wall breakers. There are so many combinations.
Mind breakers.
Before I came in, I was just looking at so many Dark Goblins along with it because they draw out so many more spells. But looking at what players are actually playing today, seems a lot less baity of all the other spells, but with a lot more units and minor cycles.
Yeah, it's a cycle here. Yeah, we do see the log, we do see the giant snowball come out for the wall breakers from time to time, but we also saw in the game, not this game, but against the previous game, we saw the Valkyrie just being put down, no spells, just to do a counter push. So
two big hits from the Valkyrie onto the bottom left.
Okay, Huni still sticking with that Witch.
Last time, because of the poison, good catch from Jai all the time. The Witch didn't really get too much power. Okay, this time Inferno from Jai.
Another nice Valkyrie.
And the Witch actually does so much less of a splash now. Basically, counter has no splash.
Yeah.
That's what I think right now.
The splash got so small that it barely does.
It barely hits the unit right next to it. Like, I'm talking about like Goblin King.
Yeah.
It barely hits a Spear Goblin right next to it. Okay, good pull.
Nice.
With the log. Yeah, but with the poison, Jai's getting a lot of value, just catching the Witch every single time.
Alright. Minor wall breaker. See, this is the thing. When you do the minor wall breaker, the miner in the back, the miner will always get a chip damage unless 2 units are put down.
Yeah, so depending on how much you want to sacrifice or not, a great Ice Spirit in the middle there from Huni. He's catching all the bats. Without that, might have been a swing from Valkyrie and a few more bats actually connecting to the Princess Tower.
Okay. Infernal Tower, so now that's gonna just get... Oh, the log was also used for Huni, so now Infernal Tower is going to have to tank that. Misplacement of the Valkyrie, not too big for Huni to put it in the back to predict the miner, but...
Yeah, man, only 2 bat bites onto the tower. So not too crazy, but the Valkyrie does take a lot from the bats.
Yeah, a little bit of a late wall breaker here. He probably wanted the Witch. Yeah, he wanted the Witch, and one wall breaker locks on.
And the counter onto the bottom is not enough of what Huni's going to have all the way. So final moment, Huni decides, okay, no more defense unless I do something crazy. This game's gonna go hard. Jai's getting way too much poison value out of my Witch. So let's put it on the right. Let's see what happens. Good push.
He literally minor witched on the bridge, and then the Infernal Tower came down, right? And he waited and he poisoned it until it went down and then sent the wall breakers. And it actually, one of them connected. That was the game maker for Huni.
Really cool games of how wall breakers are changing the entire meta right now.
Yeah. The wall breakers bringing out some cards more often. Any aerial damage, any big aerial damage that can stop the wall breakers for cheap or for a great counter push is just coming out all the time.
They move so fast.
Yeah. They must work out their legs a lot.
There's bones though.
That's true.
They got no muscles. How can they work out?
Oh my goodness. They
I
drink
mean,
a lot. They drink a lot of milk.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Well, to be frank, there was a patch a long time ago on the bomber,
Yeah.
and actually, a description was the bomber has been working out. So I don't know what that means. That's an official update. So I guess bones,
Yeah.
can be worked out.
Yeah.
In a way.
Well, Super says it can, then it can.
Yeah, if Supercell believes in it, I'll believe in it. Well, 1-1 tied.
All right.
Okay, we thought it was going to be a sweep because like 2v2, really good.
Oh yeah.
Ja in game 1, oh man, he was getting it. Okay, Huni changing a big moment. Saw this from Ice Law too. He was also trying to change a cycle in the middle. Makes a really, really weird situation for the opponent. Okay, I have a spell. Do I use it or not? Do I just throw it down right now or just use it? And when you're thinking about it, you're already late.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the important part of switching the cycle in the middle, because Jai was ready for Huni. He's already used to Huni cycle. And then he changed it. He's like, oh, brain fart. And then I think one of it was the Infernal Tower being put down early, and then Huni took advantage of that by putting the wall breaker down late. So it also forced Jai to put down more units, but he was attacking at the same time, so brain fart.
Yeah. So different moments coming out from both players, but tied 1-1 final game to decide the winner of set number 2 between OP's GG Sports and Brand Esports. Motor from Huni.
Okay. He lost it.
Let's see what you got.
Yeah. See if you can do
Same
better
or
than
better,
me.
yes.
Correct.
Or worse.
Another poison, nice value.
See, personally, I don't like the witch, so I love these poisons.
You say you don't like the witch. Everybody's gonna hate on you. You don't like the witch? There we go.
Hog EQ
Nice!
and Motor comes into the
Oh,
EQ.
yeah. That was great.
But still, with the archer and the skeleton, yeah, just got the EQ damage. That's it.
Okay, so perfect defense here. Huni basically got lucky with the EQ and the hog, but still.
Yeah, Jai was probably really surprised because the moment he saw the EQ, he already put down that
I wanna
motor of
pick it
himself.
back. Trying to pick it back up. It's not working.
Yeah,
Ooh.
you know, arrows versus guns.
So
Welcome to the modern technology, man.
Very nice. Once
He's
again,
just-
you saw Jai kind of shake his head. He's like, ah.
Yeah, that's actually all the way onto the left, so it doesn't actually lock onto anything. It was one off. You need to have it one off all the way onto the left or the right if you want to have one off from the bridge. I'm sure you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's hard. There are lots of squares in Clash Royale.
It's like, what off? I was like, which one?
There are lots of pixels. Okay, away from the left side.
Okay, Valkyrie's gonna be good enough. It still connects. Not good enough.
Yeah, but the motor actually shoots, and the rock travels so slow, it doesn't actually catch on to the piggy.
All right. This time around, Huni has to make something happen, and once again, the EQ does connect, but we saw this happen before. This time the hog. Ooh, nice dog. He just wanted to make sure.
But was that log?
Not necessary.
Exactly.
I knew what you were thinking.
Yeah, so let's see the motor again here. Is that a bait for the right for a potential hog? Not this time. Huni does have it now with the witch used.
Yeah, I don't know. Right now, it just seems like Jai has a slight advantage of the cycle and the chip damage that he's been putting in with the Royal Hogs.
Okay, the big hog, small hoggies. Let's see. Good pull away with the snowball. And the motor actually... That was dangerous. That almost went into the tower too. The motor is actually really dumb. It actually shoots really late. Sometimes it actually goes into the tower like that.
Yeah, it's dumb because it has no brain.
Yeah, machines, man.
Yeah, I know,
Welcome
right?
to the
All right,
Matrix.
here we go, the split of the Hogs here. This time, the Hog Rider connects. Full HP. basically catches up all the chip damage that Jai did with the Royal Hogs in one push.
Okay, so the Witch has to go to the left now because of the poison. Okay, Huni's thinking. Just the Hog, skip through Witch.
Nice.
Early Q-Ticks into the first.
But the Valkyrie that was bridge spammed is just going to take care of that Hog. No problem.
Jai knew that the Hog was coming real soon. Good early snowball, so extra spin into one more pig.
All right, I think this time, this setup right now by Huni, it just seems very good. But the bridge Valkyrie is just causing so much trouble.
Yeah, good skeletons. They actually did not die with the first tick of their EQ. It takes 2 hits. Valkyrie, and a good set.
Nice.
Still some scratches, but Huni has done more, just a little more.
If you notice, the EQ always, Huni, he always connects it with the Princess Tower. That's going to add up.
Yeah, a little less than 200 every single time. So that's what has been making difference. And you know where the Royal Logs are coming, bottom right.
Yep. See, that's the thing. Up to the mid game, Jai's Royal Hog, the chip damage went in perfectly. But now Huni has it down.
Pushes the archers for one more shot from the Hog into the tower. Even pulls out a log, which didn't even matter too much.
Yeah, that was 2 logs that was...
But one single mistake can actually be GG.
Wait, Huni leaves the bottom right because he sent the motor and the Hog.
Is that fast enough or too late? There's that defensive block. Jai gets it. And he's going to take the game with the coming poison. Yes.
Oh my goodness, the motor Hog. Huni got very, very greedy here.
Yes, last moment he thought this was it. Okay, I need to get my Hogs going in. One single mistake or one single different making decision.
He got desperate because, like I said, from mid-game, Huni had it perfect. He knew how to perfectly defend against Jai's Royal Hogs. And I was like, all right, so small chip damages from the EQ and maybe one swing from the Hog Rider constantly is gonna get Huni the win, but the greed. The mortar Hog on the left basically just gave the go sign to Jai.
Slightly thinking, okay, maybe he wanted to push a little more with that extra motor shot, but it really didn't have to be on the left.
Yeah.
It could have been like towards the center or middle or the right, just to buy time. So lots of different things could have happened. So at the end, it is Jai. Just waited for the perfect timing. Wins 2v2, wins 1v1. A match win for Brand Esports, as they will be in top 4 for now before game win. And they also have a chance to go in that top 4 if they do. But a big win for Brand Esports at this moment. Possibly putting them in the playoff spot. Yeah, we have to wait until the final day to know everything though. Yeah, that was it with the Brand Esports taking a big match win. We have one more match coming up very soon. Bob Gaming game win. This one's going to be spicy.
どうもファブゲーミングのジャックです。
어그로 핑퐁이 정말 기가 막힌 선수예요. 야, 이건 한데.
아니 끊어지나요? 승당이 한.
まずこのデッキ変更した点についてはこの2枚なんですけど、大砲と違ってこちらの方がエリクスアドバンテージは取りにくいんですけど、防衛の面でとても強力なカードなのでこちらを採用したのと、さらにこのインフェルノタワーというカードを延命するのが非常に便利なこの雪玉というカード。このデッキの強みとしてはまず防衛が硬いというところなので、まず防衛をメインでやっていき、ここら辺の先ほど言ったインフェルノタワーというカードを使って防衛をしていき、そこで余ったエリクサーでこのホグライダーというカードを飛ばすのが一番いいと思います。今まではこのカードが3コストの大砲っていうカードだったんですけど、そこが2コスト重くなったことによって、昔はホグライダーをまず攻めに使って後から防衛することができたんですけど、このデッキでは後から防衛する際に5エリクサーを余らせることが難しいので、
これからプレイしますんで、
ちょっと時間もらっていいですか。切りやすいカード1コストだったり2コストだったり、最悪ホグライダーも切って大丈夫です。まず適当に切っていきます。でスケルトンも切っていきます。でこれ4コストカード最大、やべずれた。4コストカード切ったのでここはホグライダーで大丈夫です。でここでベビードラゴンがこちら側の陣地に入ってきていなくて、アイスゴレムを無料で溶かすのはもったいないので、ここではマスケットを高めに出して相手のベビードラゴンに仕事をさせる前にマスケットで倒したという感じです。でここで結構大事なのが、これマスケットミリ残りだったら出さなくていいんですけど、こんな感じで意外と残ってる時にはこのマスケットにアイゴレをつけるだけで、今だったら6コスト割いたんですよ相手が。エリクスアドバンテージがマスケットを出している状態では取られていたはずなんですけど、それにアイゴレをつけると、アイゴレのおかげで4ワードを取ったという感じで一気にエリクスアドバンテージを返すことができるので、とりあえずつけておくのもいいと思います。スパーキー、これは一発入るんで美味しいですね。こちらはスパーキーに対してザップだったりとかそういうのがないので、防衛としては相手のスパーキーかなり優秀なんですが、こちらもスパーキーの防衛に強いスケルトンだったり、出ちゃったスケルトンだったりアイスピだったりがいるので、落ち着いて防衛していくのがいいと思います。でここで丁寧に落とされなければいいんで、うまいけどここはゆったりと、こっちがミスっても全然防衛をもう一度できるというのは高回転の強みでもあるので、そういうところはどんどん使っていくといいと思います。でここでさっき切ってるんで、もうトルネードでここでホグライダーと、その相性のいいこの雪玉というカードがスノー効果、相手の防衛としても優秀なんですけど、これを出すことによって基本結構入れることができるので、ホグライダーの攻撃をバカスカ打っていっていいと思います。ここ落ち着いてインフェルノタワーが強いので余裕ができたらホグライダーです。今は防衛の形ができているのでホグライダーを出したという感じです。でこれ一発で勝利です。序盤中盤終盤全部変わらず、この3枚が特に大事なカードとなってきていて、2倍入る前の序盤中盤の時には、あまりこのカードを何度も出すことができないので、このカードの出しどころにはまずは気をつけて、攻めには使うというより防衛重視でこのカードを出して、もし防衛した際にこのカードが残ったらこちらの2枚で攻めに行くのが一番いいと思います。で2倍タイム入ったらマスケット1枚目を攻撃のマスケットとして後ろから出したりしても、2周目を簡単にここの1コストの2枚たちですね、ここら辺で2枚一気に回すことができて、すぐにもう一度マスケットを出すことができるので、2倍入ってからはどんどん自分からマスケを出していってもいいと思います。難しいんですけど、まずはミスを恐れずにどんどん小技だったり YouTube とかに多分結構小技とかあるんで、この1コス2枚のカードたちの 小技とかアイスゴーレムの小技だったりとかいろいろあると思うので、まずそれを見て真似してみるのと、それをすることによってエリクスアドバンテージの取り方が全然違うんで、この同じデッキでもまずそこの細かいところを見て学ぶのがいいと思います。
Let's go.
Welcome back to Clash Royale League Asia. Breaker time. Everything's being destroyed with those two skeletons carrying bombs directly into all the buildings. What's going on right now, Ending?
I don't know. You know, we were talking about, oh, when will wall breakers ever come out? Finally, the time has come. We get to see them being used. We get to actually see them land the hits onto the Princess Tower. Everything's breaking. We'll see what happens. I think there's going to be some more wall breakers in game number 3.
Potentially, or 2v2 or 1v1.
Ooh, look at Bob Gaming. Whoa.
That's next level. If Paper Thin was here,
oh yeah,
Bob Gaming gets A+.
That's 10 out of 10 right there. But look at game width.
No, it's not even close to what Bob Gaming is doing. Bob Gaming wins 10 out of 10. 5-star out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
That's some brilliant action.
Wow. Yeah,
because Bob Gaming, they have some more room to actually prepare for those opening moments.
Correct.
Because they're second place. Game width, they do not.
Nope.
At the bottom. Maybe not at the bottom with the Sandbox losing, but it's about the same. But they need to grab this win to go have a chance to go into playoffs. Similar story for both of the teams.
Yeah, so obviously if Game Width wins today, they're gonna be above Sandbox. However, if they lose, if Game Width loses today, they're gonna be tied with Sandbox, but under Sandbox just because of the set difference. So they're still gonna stay dead last if they don't win today.
So only Tornado Band, Jack, and Roll-Up runs back on that 1v1. Ooh, we'll see what happens. Okay, that's Junkie Meshi, one of the best 2v2 in our region right now. Having such a good win rate. So that's why Bob Gaming has having big brain and a big spine. That's how I feel for Bob Gaming this season. Jack has the spine, these two are the brain.
Who's the
of course,
tail?
Along with with coach Donnie.
Donnie's the tail?
Yes. Donnie catches on. Yeah, whenever they go to King of the Hill, okay,
All
it's
right, I'll
time for me
come
to time for me to walk in.
Look at that record though. 7-1, 5-3 for Kentsumeshi on the King of the Hill. These guys, they're basically unbeatable right now, other than just losing one, right, against Brenny's.
Also really important for FAV, if they win today and win another one, they take over OGN's spot.
Yeah, it will. But I don't think right now.
But OGN has to lose one more.
That is true.
So, but you do want to finish first.
Oh yeah, you definitely do. You definitely do. But for now, FAV, if they win today, first, the biggest thing is they make it into the playoffs. They secure that spot. Game with, they have to also win today.
They certainly do.
Yeah.
A lot more pressure, a lot more desperation on the line, as they do have Yu Hiro, KK. And compared to Kentsumeshi, Kitashan, yeah, the results are not the same, but about half and half for this pair. So certainly not too shabby. But for KK, it's not the first time. It's the second time on that 2v2. Let's see what happens. It is a different patch. Anyhow.
Game 1.
2v2. Let's go. That Korea versus Korea. It's time for Japan versus Japan.
Okay. The classic minor bat. Lumberjack.
Yeah, we're the Dark Goblin too. I was expecting a lot more Dark Goblins on 1v1 too. So decks are just consistently changing right now with the wall breakers. Around the wall breakers. So far, even though Mega Knight's coming in at all, just a lot of recruits so far in 2v2.
Yeah, recruit. Oh, they're gonna just put it down right away, back to back, make it a huge split push. But I was gonna say the recruits just so good on 2v2 for that graveyard defense, because so much graveyard freeze has been coming out. Just put down the recruits, it'll take care of the little skeletons.
Double that Mega Knight from FAV Gaming, which is actually a great way of countering all those recruits. See what's left.
I think it was like a double mind game. All right, they're gonna think we're gonna bring the graveyard.
Yeah. And goes charging in straight because the cage was just put down.
Oh!
Charge.
Yeah, the snare's not gonna be good enough when the Ram Riders are already on that Princess Tower.
Yeah, the reason why they're doing double recruits, it's because there's no tornado. Ooh, that's a big executioner hit.
The fisherman pulled him in, but the executioner decided, no, I'm still gonna hit the princess.
Yeah, if it's still within the same range when it locks on and actually goes to the same target, that was about little more than 500. Which makes it about even on the bottom left and top left, and bottom right.
Yep.
And the Ram Rider from Game Wit so far not really connecting onto the left side.
And the fisherman even connected 4 swings on the top right. So right now, FAV Gaming, they still have done more damage to both sides comparative to Game With here. Nice bomb tower against recruits.
Yeah, I love the switch of how we came down to bomb tower. Okay, so many lavas. That's why we have executioners, and now Witch. Okay, you're not going to use lavas today.
No.
I don't think so. So let's just stick to the ground. Bomb tower it is.
Nice lightning there to get rid of that executioner early, and nice pull.
Yeah, again, slow from the defending Ram Rider makes it impossible to charge into it, and the bat's good.
And just the fact that FAV Gaming has that bomb tower, and unfortunately Game With has the double recruits, I think as of now, it's just FAV Gaming just have to cycle through the bomb tower, just defend it with the Mega Knight. They have the double Mega Knight for the recruits as well.
Yeah,
so
if they had Graveyard along with the double recruits, maybe it's okay.
Yeah.
But Ram Rider just charging into the tower, that's not okay for a game
Nope.
with. Not a good game for them for sure.
Definitely. So we'll see how Game With will try to turn this around here. Even though they did get the early Executioner axe into that Princess Tower, other than that, there was no significant damage going through.
Okay, still holding on to a few spells. Let's see what the rest of the cards are.
This is a problem. The spell damage is adding up on the side of Game With.
And unless there's a big rocket or a freeze from Game With, yeah, and good deep from the Lumberjack too. So lots of counter cards that FAV is having on their 2v2 side.
All right. Nice poison here. They they just noticed that they didn't let the Mega Knight jump, so they're gonna just use the poison to clean everything up. But there's still so much alive here.
Yeah, but the problem is that Five Gaming has double Mega Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah, still few of the recruits on the left and the Musketeer shot actually connected, so that's a big move.
Yeah, but this is even a bigger push coming in from Five Gaming here. They want to put it into the range of the spells.
That was close. Game could have been a lot better with the defense. The snare from the Ram Rider, defensive Ram Rider actually didn't go in until the last moment. And also the lightning.
All right, so right now, Game With, they're trying to keep up. They are keeping up with the split pushes.
Yeah, Poison Log Lightning does finish the game for Five Gaming, so maybe for the spell, but you got to defend first. Good. Bomb Tower onto the left. You know that was coming.
Nice Mega Knight, but the double Ram Rider, yeah, the snare has to come down so that Ram Rider doesn't get through. And now, like you said, the spell is in the range for Five Gaming to finish this game.
Just gathering elixirs, Lightning Log, or they want to go casually with the unit damage.
They want to go play a safe game here. Not going to even use a Lightning. The Tix will finish the game
with the final spell cycle, and even though Game With was really hard countered by what their winning condition was against Five Gaming, they actually made a really good split push and made Five Gaming focus on defending on one side. A lot of elixirs had to be dropped down.
Yeah. Having the Bomb Tower, having double Mega Knight, you can tell by the decks that just Five Gaming overall had a better deck to go up against what Game With has brought. Now Game With 100% has to change things up here.
And bring lava.
That's true. That's
lava
true.
Miner!
If it was this deck and if it was a double lava and double miner with everything else that comes with it.
But the double lava miner is defended easily with the Executioner and even with the Witch, or even with the Night Witch.
Yeah.
So lava just might fall out, like totally out of the meta, especially the 2v2 meta, really soon.
See, that's why I said it's the mind games, because if you notice, Five Gaming, look at all their units. It's a Witch, not a Night Witch. It's a Mega Knight Ram Rider. Yeah, there's an EUIZ and a Bomb Tower and a Baby Dragon, but that's not going to be good enough if Game With brought like a double Lava Hound. Like, unless they just do a hard counter push.
There's also a great Dark Goblin at the center from Game With, trying to catch on to the potential Bomb Tower coming in at the same time, because Dark Goblin usually catches on to those buildings towards the center with the long range. But it was not exactly enough. Five Gaming, perfect placement of that Bomb Tower. So it's a tough situation what you have been practicing for a week, maybe more. Has been blocked, like not like totally blocked, but that was a straight up counter cards.
Yeah. But now Five Gaming, I think not only Game With, but even Five Gaming, they have to think even harder, because they have already shown this first deck in game number 1, and it's very ground focused. So Game With is probably thinking the same thing, and now it's the mind games. Do we kind of split it, ground air for defense or offense? Do we only bring air and change to Lava Hound? So I'm very curious how both of these teams will change. We can see the mind games after we see what they bring for the decks.
How? So how and what do you think they're going to bring in game 2? You have any idea?
Well, Game With gonna get rid of recruits or add in the graveyard, like you said. I think that's the best case scenario if they were to go up against a ground unit defense in your opponent team.
The answer is Bomber. Game 2.
Stop.
I'm
staring at him.
No one
I'm like,
stops me.
I'm giving him the Superman. I want to laser him in the face.
No one stops me. Bomber. Oh, you have Bomb Tower. Why not Bomber, man?
Because he's already working on the tower. Double shift?
Have a second person works on the side. A sidekick, okay?
Oh my goodness.
Executioner already from Five Gaming.
Yeah, so that's already the mind game. All right, they might bring an air.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're right on the paper.
Okay.
Ram Rider all of a sudden with going into the cage.
Game with sticking with the recruits. Let's see what small changes they've made.
No bomber!
He's
Okay.
up there on the tower.
Because Game with also used the Ram Rider last game, makes sense to stick with it and then bring an Executioner, just in case of anti-air. So great switch from Pop Gaming already. But I'm sure Game would also changed a lot. It can't just be similar Royal Recruit back again.
No. But so far, the Executioner coming out with the double Royal Recruits.
Ooh. And two big punches. Quick slaps into the tower along with the poison damage. Well, that's why Pop Gaming is leading big right now.
And I'm just still waiting to see what changes that GameWith has made here, because you can see the Fav Gaming making the changes, keeping the bomb tower, keeping the Mega Knights just in case GameWith does a similar thing with the Royal Recruits, and they were correct to keep the bomb tower and the Mega Knight. It's working out great for them.
And 3 more seconds for the double elixir time for GameWith. They've been hiding a lot of cards.
All right.
Okay, 1 Mega Knight already dropped, and the Royal Recruits marching. Okay, again the Ram Rider, maybe with a spell to destroy that building.
Yeah, they definitely need something.
Not lightning? EQ?
Yeah, lightning.
So far, nothing on lightning from Bob Gaming.
Lightning from Bob. They know they do it early. When they have the advantage, they start adding up spell damages very early on in the game.
The snare does go into the Ram Rider, so that's good news at least.
Game with Recruit gets a couple pokes, but that's not going to be a big difference here. And I still don't see a huge change coming in from Game with.
Yeah, still 1196 left on that top left. So not as bad. So this time Mega Knight goes in front, left, and right. We're getting each of those recruits back and forth.
Yeah, if this just goes on for 3 minutes, it's just going to be Fav Gaming either taking that Princess Tower down or still winning by default by damage on the Princess Tower.
Great Executioner, also grabbing the bats.
Fireball didn't hit the Fisherman here.
Yeah, even with the Lumberjacks, when that Rage drops.
Oh my goodness. The Dark Goblin. Yeah, the charge goes in, the Dark Goblin comes out, and the coming back axe from the Executioner literally just kills him without him even shooting one dart.
Dart? You mean the Brawler?
No. Dark
There was
Goblin.
another Dark
Yeah,
Goblin,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. He got deleted as he got put down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good catch.
Yeah.
I was focused on the charge a little too much. Get excited about those screams, man. Bomb Tower, also great. It's the same. You're not scared. There's a final spell.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still... That's not even important right now. They game with no huge changes made to what they've lost to in the previous
400,
game.
and the Fisherman locks onto it.
And hits.
And the Lightning to finish the game for Bob Gaming. Basically unbeatable, these two.
Gosh.
Make sure, if you had them in your Fantasy Royale from weeks ago, well, good for you. I didn't.
Me neither.
Because I was focusing too much on 1v1,
Yeah.
but these two seems near impossible to break. Maybe the biggest reason why they might be in first place of Group B by the final day, still yet to be known, depending on OG and Entus how they do on the final match too. But GameWith, they need a win right here, right now. They lose the 2v2, time for 1v1.
Oh gosh, this is just literally just shaking my bones right here with GameWith just losing 2-0.
It is getting a little chilly.
Yeah.
And we're getting old. That's
Oh
the
my
reason
God.
why.
Need to drink some more milk.
Yes.
Oh my
to grow up a little, just a little.
And make my bones strong, but
So
yeah.
why do you think Game would use that twice in a row?
See, that's the thing. I don't know. They made no huge changes. You
think?
No, because I'm thinking, all right, Fav made the right changes because they played a ground-heavy deck in game number 1 and they won. So they knew you have to make some changes just in case for an anti-air. But everything else worked out very well. So they kept everything. They added the Executioner. GameWith, they also played a ground heavy unit, but it was a group units, right? The recruits. And they literally got countered by multiple cards.
Yeah,
Mega Knight.
Yeah, in the second game, the game they were using it later, so
Yeah.
the Mega Knight, like hits one, turns around, hits another one, turns around, hits another one. But it wasn't always like that. Like the spawn damage does land on a lot of units.
And I don't know, even if it wasn't for the Mega Knight, just the fact that there's a bomb turret in the middle would have just.
And it's time for Jackie Jack. Jack, what do you got?
What does he have?
He
Well,
has a-
I think this new meta with even the wall breakers.
Yeah, it
in
fits Jack.
Correct.
I think that's exactly what you were going to say because we all know.
Oh yeah.
Roll Up Around also similar story. He does love the Goblin Barrel along with KK. Lots of cycles. That's usually similar for lots of Japanese player as a region.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a lot of spell baits and cycles, cheap cycles. But for Jack, more towards like the Hogs, more towards a few of those like motor really quick troop units to actually be deployed and just cycled through. So let's see, is it going to be the similar wall breaker story for these two too? Or maybe some other type of spice from the Japanese players?
Yeah, because Roll Upon in the past, he used a golem. So I'm even thinking...
and he lost.
Yeah, no, he won. He beat Jack. That was the one game, the one set that he won.
No, okay, I'm remembering KK.
Oh yeah,
Long time ago.
Long time ago.
At the beginning of the season. Really? Golem won?
Yeah, he won. He beat Jack. This was week 4, so it's a revenge match. Roll Upon lost at the end of the day. But that one game that he won was with the golem. So that the reason
Did he
I'm
ever
saying
drop the golem?
Oh my god. But the reason I'm saying this is because we might possibly see that giant with the witch paired up from Roll Upon. I want to see that.
Yeah, we see a lot more giants for now because the meta has been away from the golem. Fire spirits.
Yep. There we go.
Okay.
From Jack.
Yeah, which perfect to go against it. So perfect timing there. And goes on to the other side with the wall breakers.
Okay.
So at least one does connect.
Really? The second one
connects. That's 800 straight plus the minor damage. Half HP gone.
For 2
1
elixirs.
minute in. 1 minute in.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, on to the left. Fire spirits.
Woo.
Fire spirit.
That's the answer.
I have time to level up my fire spirit to 13. I have it maxed out on level 12. Okay, doing it right after the cast.
Great. We see it. We're like,
okay.
Wow.
I'm
We're
good.
enlightened.
I'm good for October.
Yeah, we're enlightened. Oh my goodness. Nobody's donating fire spirit. I'm not donating to you.
I'm not asking for it.
Gosh, but that was great. Roll Upon, he brings a very similar deck. He has the answer. He figures something else out.
Yeah, instead of using like a big spell from the first wall breaker, just witch straight up and then counter push with that witch, but onto the other side with the minor wall breakers.
Yeah, but you also notice that Jack brought the Barbarian Barrel. Roll Upon, Zap Poison. No log, no Bar Barrel. And again, both of them connect.
Yeah, and they do delete the bats in the air too.
Fisherman is not the answer, Jack.
Yeah, with the cycle, the Fisherman...
Oh, one.
Yeah, this is more of a cycle and roll prawn with the witch. So much quicker with, look at that.
Oh,
2-2. Yeah, just lots of 2s.
Yeah, the miner gets deleted and that one bomber. All right, so Jack has put the hunter in the middle and the wall breakers literally split, and that's not how you place them. I hope Jack kind of understands that now.
It's exactly what you have. Yeah, Fire Spirits, 2 gone. Finally, we do see the drop of the Mega Knights. Also really good against all the big troops, especially the baits. And it doesn't even have to be the baits against the wall breakers.
There we go.
Stacking.
One goes in.
Yeah, that's actually really good, like, even against the Hunter. Yeah. Does not get it in time. Nope. The wall breakers are gone from the fire spirits, and one of the spirit does survive, and it becomes a push.
Yeah, it definitely does. And Roll Upon constantly sending the miner with the cycling through to the miner is going to always force Jack to defend against that. And I think bringing in the Fisherman, Jack, for the wall breakers twice in a row.
Yeah, okay. Right? So with the wall breaker and either with the miner or the Mega Knight, find the best cards find the best combination and the spells that goes along with it. And then if you do, you win this weekend. I think that's exactly what this weekend is all about.
Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna just be seeing a lot of very similar decks, minor poison, wall breaker, and everything else. Small changes going through.
Because Mega Knight is in a deck which has been gaining popularity for the last 24 hours in the Grand Challenge at top, but not this light and not with the Fire Spirits.
Yeah, I think this was a great find for Rollaporan to kind of mix in the light deck with the Mega Knight and the wall breakers.
Yeah, there's some minor poison with the Mega Knight with E-Wiz instead of so you lock with the spawn damage and you have the mini stun against the wall breakers, which is also okay. And there are other ones with the Bomb Tower, Ice Golem, the Dark Goblin, so that one's a lot more spell baity.
Yeah.
And sometimes even mix it with the Barrel. So it's going all over the place, but 2 cards, 3 cards at least that sticks along. Minor and
Poison.
lots of time poison, wall breakers.
Correct.
And because Snowball actually got a nerf too, didn't really mention that too much. 70% nerf onto the knockback, which was actually I think just enough to make it not too overpowered anymore. Maybe less of a use is going to be shown, but still really good against the area units. I think that's why we're still seeing it a lot.
But now I just want to see Jack make changes. We know that Fav Gaming, not only the 2v2 pair, but even Jack, they're prone to making changes if they lose a game. They make changes so if they go up against the same deck that they lost to, they can defend it and kind of take the pace of a new game here with the change.
Yeah, let's go, Jack. It's time for the giant skeleton or the giant with those maybe 1 or 2. 2 with double witch.
I want to see that. The double witch giant.
2.
With a clone. I'm not kidding. It's actually on top of ladder right now. The clones.
Giant double witch clone?
Yes. Okay. With the scale barrel too.
Ooh, got barrel.
Baity time.
Yep. All right, we'll see. Yeah, baity.
Do you have the log? What do you have? Straight up. Poison graveyard and the troops gone.
Yep, offensive poison right away.
And the Valkyrie was put in the front to take the Mega Minion shot. That's why it wasn't catching all the skeletons. So a lot of damage for the graveyard this time.
A nice musketeer there to get rid of everything.
Yeah, see how the snowball doesn't actually get the entire Goblin Barrel anymore. So it gets 1 or 2 more stabs now.
Yeah, so before the snowball knockback was great enough, or like it pushes further enough that the Princess Tower gets everybody, but now it gets pushed slightly less, so they come back and get 1 more stab in. So
yeah, still need to have the perfect time.
Yeah.
So another Jack. When you have this low of a cycle, you have this want to bait that many spells. Yes, do you want to have all the cards going in and out?
But I think in this sense right now, just because Rollaporan brought the snowball, the Goblin Barrel, I think, is going to see the light because it's going to do a lot of pokes even if the giant snowball is thrown. So right now, Jack, as long as he defends against that graveyard, just worries about that graveyard at the bottom right, just constantly throw the God Barrel, he's going to get more than enough damage.
Yeah, but it will be traded for what Royale wants to take some because, yeah, that's because he wants to have a better graveyard attack.
Yeah. Now I think, like we were talking about before we got into this game, Jack, he can definitely take the pace of this game. Look at this.
Yep,
they always get a poke.
All the way on the back. Yeah, from that Spear Goblin too. Again, Valkyrie front.
Ah, the poison didn't reach the princess. You can see that he wanted to somehow get that princess, but...
Yeah, but not the King Tower.
Of
so
course.
that was the hard moment when you have so many cards to put down at the same time. Okay, onto the right this time with the Valkyrie tanking
oh my God,
from the Princess Tower.
Oh
so that was
my goodness.
3, 2,
and even
1.
a Valkyrie hit.
And left 2, 3 stabs, 4 stabs from that one small karaoke goblin. Okay. The snowball, good push.
1 more stab coming in, even with the giant snowball. like I said, the snowball, the slight nerf.
Yeah, 200. Yeah, 200 more from the fireball, so Jack wants to push in. Keep on having the big pressure. Log damage.
All right. There's one graveyard. I think this might somehow.
Not with anything else like the Ice Golem or the Barbarians or the Mega Knight coming through the bridge. It is not the same. Jack even had the Tesla ready for that.
Correct. One more God Barrel with a couple staffs from the Goblin and the Fireball, and he also has that cheap log in his hand. So I think that's gonna be it for Roll. I was gonna say it for Rollaporon, but the Barbarian placement was perfect by Rollaporon.
Yeah, so Jack gets a lot more value from the log, and the Princess is actually going to take care of most of the Barbarians.
Here we go. Poison and the Skeletons, 3 Skeletons locked early on.
Yeah, good spawn. Even
the
and Skeletons, but the barrel gets it done. Jack on top of the game.
Oh my goodness. That was so close.
It was close, but Jack was not really even worried about it. He says, okay, I can't really do anything else. I got my Valkyrie, I get my Ice Spirit. I don't need to put down anything else. It's gonna be deleted by the poison.
Yep. And he also needed to use that log there early on, so it kind of helped out, but I gotta say, it was super close. It's not like Rollaporon got slammed or stomped. It's a 1-2-1 game here, and they both, it was funny, game 1 they both tried the wall breakers, and the game 2 they both swayed away, and in a way, because of the snowball nerf, Jack was like, all right, I'm gonna try the God Barrel. It's gonna work out even if he brings the snowball, and it actually worked out pretty well for him.
Yep, barrel thrown, Valkyrie defense okay. Yeah, tried the Ice Golem, but still too many Goblins locked on. 93 away from winning, but that's not enough for one skeleton hit. And I believe Poison was over by that time, so yeah, good game. Yeah, lots of cycles through, and Jack overall just wins it. Rollaporon, he's also a great master of all those cycles. But Graveyard, you do have to realize that if you can't push something through that bridge, your Graveyard is going to be always weaker, and Rollaporon had a big trouble against the Tesla. Yeah, that was one big card to actually deal with.
It's great for Jack to bring that Tesla in. See what happens here.
Similar decks.
I want to see Rollaporon bring in a heavy deck. Jack's never gonna do that.
Okay, we've seen Tesla.
Yeah.
We pair up with a few more buildings.
Yeah. Are they actually just going back in time slowly? Oh, it's gonna be the mortar. Okay.
Yeah, maybe not just the mortar. Rollaporon's ready with the cage, and an RG instantly responds here.
Yep. Times is so that the Goblin cage goes in front of him, the Brawler. Still not gonna make a huge difference here. Okay, so just deck-wise.
Yeah, with the Hogs goes in straight, but Tornado was the thing.
Yep.
I think that Jack kind of smelled it with the Barbarian Barrel. Could just be a snow. It could just be a Tornado along with it, but doesn't care. And the Earthquake.
Ooh. Even though Jack did a lot of damage, you can see Jack kind of take a huge breath, taking a break, thinking of how he's gonna approach this, because Royal Giant, Tornado, Goblin Barrel for both his Mortar and his Royal Hogs.
Yeah, and brilliant when you don't have a Lightning for the building, bringing the EQ to make sure that RG connects to the tower. I think Rollaporon's got it.
There's a Lightning.
Chain Lightning.
Yeah.
Okay, Poison does get it. But how does Jack go?
Oh, it's gonna be hard.
Run
now.
away. Okay, he did chip a lot of damage already before the double elixir time. Okay.
See, that's the thing. He did everything he could, but now all his cards are shown, and he knows that his deck against Rollaporon's deck is not going to be easy after Rollaporon realizes what deck Jack has brought.
Okay, he knows that he's going to take a hit. But everything in EQ, Snowball slows it down.
nothing is there for the Royal Giant.
No, there were lots of things there, but not just not the best thing for a Royal Giant. I think that's a better description there. There are lots of things. Lots of cars, lots of units. Not a mini P.E.K.K.A, not a P.E.K.K.A.
No.
Not the best cards against that Royal Giant, that's the thing. So roll up around. Yep. Miner all the way in the back. The Brawler. Yeah, 8.
Yeah.
Even a Tornado can finish that tower. No.
Oh my gosh.
7 seconds.
Oh my god.
Cage is ready. Those Royal Hogs aren't so royal right now,
Nope.
Jack.
There's a Peasant Hogs, and unfortunately, it's not going to work out. Roll up on.
And Roll Up Paran takes the win. Go into King of the Hill. And this is what we wanted. We can't just have 2-0-2-0s.
No.
It's
way too fast.
It's a big, big day. Let's go into King of the Hill and see what happens. And this is the moment I think we really get to hit all the players and then say, okay, what is like the best deck to play in 1v1 right now? I think we will really get a sense of that after the match day.
Yeah. And even in King of the Hill, I think this is the moment, like, to be honest, even in the first match, like OGNentis and OPGG, Brand Esports, Sandbox Gaming, I wanted to see the King of the Hill because that's actually that one-time game, not like 1v1 where you can kind of take a break, change your deck. To come out with that 1v1 deck that's like the strongest in your mind and show it to us. That's where we can see the stronger decks in 1v1, especially in King of the Hills.
Fire Spirit. You bring a Zat. So lots of the counter cards. You have a lot to think. You have a lot to do if you're not ready against some of these potential decks that you may just customize all over. Like what we had from Game 1. Game 2, kind of went back to the old standard. Not like the 100% standard, but the usual, closer to meta.
It would have been a different story if the patch didn't go through and the Giant Snowball was able to perfectly defend the Goblin Barrel. But that small patch for the Giant Snowball basically made the day for game number 2 for Jack.
Yeah. After reading the patch, it was actually the first thing I thought of. Okay, it's Spellbait time for the entire season. For the entire playoff, yes, that's what I thought. So if you are really catchy, seriously good with the Spellbaits,
yeah,
I think there are lot more 1v1 potential for you. And that does favor a lot more Japanese players because they are so skilled and they show that on stage a lot more often compared to Korea, compared to Southeast Asia.
Okay, well, Roll Up Paran just gets a great counter deck, but now we have to move on to King of the Hill entry here.
Yeah, we were expecting about the same. Yo, no Kenzameshi though. Kitashan up instead of Kenzameshi.
Okay.
And game with, yeah, you gotta have KK Roll Up Paran. And maybe Yu-Hero, maybe Blossom. I think that was a real deal from game with here, as Yu-Hero was paired up with KK today on 2v2.
Blossom, the last time they went to King of the Hill, he didn't get to play. But this time he's up first, he has to play. He only played one game throughout this whole season, so we'll see how much he has practiced.
So, saw actually quite a lot of clone decks with the Double Witch. I was expecting that to come out, but it's only the first day of the weekend, and the players don't like to experiment on stage. They want what's been proven, what they have practiced a lot. So I think that might be the reason why they're actually not challenging themselves too much, like going out to the extreme. But staying with around the cycle that they understand a lot better and has been playing for years.
Yeah, that is true, especially with the Japanese team. We say over and over, they're so used to the cycle that adding in the wall breakers, adding in the minor poison wall breakers is not a huge deal for them. They're so used to it. They're just changing 1 or 2 cards and just putting it in there and making it work. It has been working. But the Giant Double Witch clone,
yeah, maybe by tomorrow, like maybe China is gonna pick up a lot of those rare recruit wall breakers too, and maybe the West very soon after that too. So this will be an exciting weekend for all Clash Royale League, and how it's going to be different between Asia, China, and West. I think it's gonna really show that.
Okay, well, game number 1.
Are we ready? Are you ready, Ending?
Listen.
Is it going to be a lot more Goblin Barrels?
I think it's just gonna go back and forth. Goblin Barrel and Wall Break.
Oh, seen RG once.
Yep.
Game 1 between Pop Gaming Game Wit.
All right, Blossom. I'm just focused on Blossom because he has to do something. He has to prove himself. Didn't play that many games. He lost the first game, that one and only game he played. So he needs a win.
Yeah, this wall breaker. Easy. You think it's easy, but it's never easy. Especially if you're not used to the card.
All right, so the EUs we see coming in from Blossom. So maybe it is that Wall Breaker Mega Knight that you were talking about that added the EUs.
One bat, yes. Yeah, this time with the Dark Goblin.
Okay, see the bandit.
Yeah, see a few more Beatty units. For potential maybe no log if your opponent does not have a log. Could be in trouble.
Okay, Mega Knight.
Yeah,
All right,
this one's with the Mega Knights. So a lot similar to what's been going on for the last like 24 hours. Yeah, from Blossom.
Yep.
And a mix of Bomb Tower too. So very similar story for Kitashan too. On the opposite side. Actually not bad against the Mega Knight too.
Here we go. Nice drag onto the Mega Knight. So Mega Knight won't get any damage in, but the bats and the miner did a ton of damage to Kitashan.
So the problem for Kitashan is that those bats.
Yeah.
With Bar Barrel, even if you throw them high enough, they don't catch bats. Yeah, barbs, they can't throw swords.
No, they can't. And the thing is, we're talking about the Mega Knight, and I don't know, Blossom, he might have just gone with the classic deck and not bring in the Wall Breakers here.
Fishy, fishy.
Yeah. Because he had more than enough chance to use the Wall Breakers. And we were thinking the Mega Knight variant with the Wall Breakers added on, but...
Yeah, it's Bandit, because there are lots of small units. Unless the Bandit's dashing in directly into like the Dark Goblin, it's going to be hard to catch all the units.
Nice poison. Last card shown from Blossom.
Yeah, along with the bats. So Kitashan really trying to fool the opponent with the minor cycle all the way into the back. Ready with the Dark Goblin on behind. Not perfect with the fireball,
but
though.
still, the Bandit will connect because the miner was getting hit from the Princess Tower for so long, even with the fireball damaging the Bandit, it's not going to be good enough.
Yes. Fireball's hard to hit when there's so many units, along with the Bandit, like the bats, along with that miner too. Bomb tower ready.
Oh, the poison and the miner will get more than enough chip damage in for that poison to finish.
And Blossom takes game 1. So in mix of what's been going on really high on the Ladder Grand Challenge right now. So it's hard.
It is.
It's really hard. The first weekend, this many changes. You just bring out what you think is the best. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. For Blossom, this time worked out so much better in terms of spells, especially.
Yeah.
And Kitashan's Bar Barrel, I think that was a real problem, if you really want to call it a problem.
Yeah. It's just the fact that, you know, he didn't have the Bar Barrel to trade with the Wall Breakers because Blossom didn't bring any. And Blossom just had a great time with the log to get rid of the Dark Goblin, to use it against the Wall Breakers. He had so much more utility compared to what Kitashan could have done with his utility.
Yes, when you have the Dark Goblin and when you have a Bar Barrel, you get that Bard. So when they pair up together to push, Barb goes to the tower, and then the Dark Goblin maybe towards the opposite. So you can get a log out with after defense like that. That's what he was thinking, but there are lots of different cards. You have to think about it. And sometimes you just do not run into the perfect one.
We're seeing the back of their note, but we do have...
Jack.
Yeah, Jack.
This has to go through and straight here. And did not grab a win. He had really good tries. He actually got the close win with the barrel. I think today's a good day for barrel when everyone's kind kinda ready, but not 100% ready against it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't really bring in the log all the time. They don't have the bar barrel all the time against the goblin barrel.
So, yeah, the Goblin. That's why I said, like, I think today we're gonna see a lot of Goblin Barrel, Wall Breaker going back and forth. But even in this game number 1, we didn't see that. Kitashan only brought it. Blossom stuck with the old school, well, not old school, but still stuck without putting in the Wall Breakers into his Mega Knight deck, which, you know, we thought it could have been in there because we've seen a lot of that in the Grand Challenge. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but it was exactly with the miner and Bandit instead of the wall breakers. Yeah, Blossom got a big win. Big one for the team. If he beats Jack, that's another up.
Oh, that's gonna be a
upset.
huge win. Okay.
It's a big flappy wings. Only OT Jack. Also bringing the barb.
So he's basically, he knows bar barrel or log is needed just in case of any, you know, graveyard.
No, because
God barrel.
Because this feels a lot more balloonish to me.
Oh yeah. The balloon miner, ice
Yes.
golem miner. Yep.
Wait, no hit from the dark. What? And a Sparky all over. Let's see. Let's
Ah.
go. We have the Hunter.
Hunter's gonna take care of that
Bye,
balloon
balloon.
perfectly.
And Sparky's marching.
All right, fisherman.
Okay. Okay, let's see the upcoming spell from Blossom.
Nice
One
ice
shot.
golem. Yeah, that ice golem Inferno Tower, more than good enough. If he wanted to see what Jack had, he kept the giant goblin.
Jack has a cycle. He's a lot faster, but he is in trouble.
Yeah.
Because Blossom's got lightning. Didn't use it last time because it was not the perfect setup with the Sparky.
Okay. Goblin Giant getting to the tower. Now, like you said, Blossom just needs to save that lightning for the next setup, the next push with the Infernal Tower being down.
Yeah, after double elixir time.
Yep.
Yeah,
Gets a
good-
perfect setup.
Yeah, good wait. Sparky.
Yeah, he can take a little bit of damage. It's not gonna matter. Sparky Goblin Giant is just a one-shot in combo.
As long as you can really nail it down with the Sparky, it should be good. Okay, no card.
Okay. Okay. Once again, he's gonna let that go.
Yeah. It's like when you scratch something, you can win something big. That's like a Sparky. And that Sparky was try again next time. Yeah, lightning comes down, but a balloon.
The Hunter's there. Oh, the Hunter's there, but
yeah, when it spreads, yeah, those catch once. But still, some damage has been put onto the bottom. Okay, not too much other than the lightning.
Nope. It's not working out too well for Blossom. He's staggering the Sparky and the Goblin Giant, but once again.
Okay, good push from the
Yeah,
snowball,
but the miner
miner's stuck there.
Hunter. Okay, he gets it, but the miner gets so much ship damage. It doesn't matter. This time it's the Fisherman Sparky here coming through.
Yeah, Jack's really working with the cycle. Sparky does get a hit before going down. So that's good for Blossom, but you can't really have a perfect one big push because Jack's got Miner Balloon so quick.
Yeah, Miner Balloon, the death damage, even if the death damage constantly connects, it's going to be more than good enough for him to add on damage. And here we go. He used the lightning for that.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty sure thousands and tens of thousands of viewers around the world have this exact same face that Blossom had. Okay, another big push with the balloon. Low on the elixir. That's why Jack can push in confidently like this.
The Mega Minion did lock onto the balloon, but at the end, Jack threw the giant snowball just to make sure that the balloon gets his drop. Nice win for Jack.
The reason why I said Jack's in trouble with the lightning, because I thought Blossom was going to actually use the lightning before the double elixir time.
Yeah.
Which is unexpected, but he had that in his hand.
Yeah.
And he had more than enough elixirs at the beginning to make us, to possibly have a Sparky shot down on the tower.
Yeah, like a predicting lightning to get rid of like an Ice Golem or a Musketeer that was there to get rid of the Infernal Tower and one of the units, right? That would have been big. But I think Blossom was just playing it way too safe. He was so worried about the Minor Balloon that we never even got to see the Goblin Giant Sparky combination.
Yeah, sometimes you know that the balloon push will get the death damage and it will eventually eat you up. So what you do is sometimes you just, when you don't have too much, you give up on one side. Of course, before the sudden death, because balloon moves a lot faster.
Yeah.
You give up before the sudden death, and then you trade, and you do more. And sometimes you can do more, sometimes you just don't. I guess Blossom calculated in a way, okay, I can't do more. So, second up from Game with KK versus Jack. Okay, a big 1v1 match, big names from both teams.
All right, well, we'll have to see. His 1v1 record, not so good, but King of the Hill, not so bad. So his teammate Rollaporum beat Jack in the 1v1 set. We'll see if KK will actually be able to beat Jack just like Rollaporum did. If not, Rollaporum has to come up again as the third man to beat Jack, if he can, again, in King of the Hill.
Yeah, here's what I felt about the season for KK. The meta didn't really fit KK too much, or way too many cycles of games. Of course, sometimes the meta fits you better, sometimes it doesn't. I think depending on the personal preference of your own cards and what you're better at, what you're worse at, it just comes and goes from time to time. Yeah, but he had a lot more losses than he should have. I think that's the conclusion of what he had until this moment. But this is the important moment. If you win against Jack, bring the win to your team. Yes, KK, you've done your job for the season.
Well, other than doing his job, his team as a whole needs to win today. So we'll see what happens here in game number 3.
Big pressure. Lot on their shoulders.
Yeah, they have to win. I'm looking at the records and stuff, kind of roughly calculating. Their sets wins are so low that they can't be tied. They have to just keep winning and just keep climbing. Sparky?
From KK?
Yeah. Ooh, long grab from that Fisherman.
Yeah, Fisherman is programmed so that if it locks onto a target, until it goes down, it just hooks.
Okay, we do actually see that early Goblin Giant Sparky pair here.
Yeah, with a big Lumberjack here.
Nice zap.
Was certainly ready for that. Big push.
Ooh.
I don't think it was close enough.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I was like, oh, is it? And it was about to.
It almost seemed like it for me too.
But we'll never know.
Paperton's not here, so it's okay. The Sparky Master level 13.
Yeah. He would have been like, oh, it was, you know, or it wasn't. Would have been right on the dot, but. So right now, if you noticed again, Jack, the quicker cycle with just the minor doing the chip damage. So much more damage done early on. But like we said about the Sparky Goblin Giant deck, it's just a one-hit combo. So as long as Jack defends it perfectly, if he can't, then it's over. No matter how much chip damage he has done.
Yeah, better for KK because, of course, Sparky fires, goes back for a second. Locked onto the tower!
Oh my goodness. That one lock was more than good enough to just flip the tables. Sorry, I screamed your ears.
No.
Right?
I caught onto it the moment. It did not turn. Sparky did not turn her face away from the tower. Not left, not right. And then I thought, okay, what's going on? Okay, 1100, I believe, is the damage to the tower. Okay, good defense from KK, but yeah, the snowball knockback is actually going to let that balloon catch. I'll drop into the tower.
But the Inferno Tower was put down, no Sparky, so this time KK kind of working with what he has left, kind of playing the mind games.
Yeah, only 20 seconds. So good snowball again from Jack, so quick. Another snowball already.
The Ice Golem Balloon, I feel it with the minor, and okay,
all he has to do is maybe get the death damage, but he doesn't even have to, because he's got the minor. Okay, need an Inferno soon, so good save up of elixirs. Connects into minions first.
Fireball in.
Oh, the Musketeer. Even with the zap, and not before, does not lock onto the tower. So, Jax is in the death damage of a balloon.
Yep, and the miner going in.
Or 3 snowballs.
Ooh.
1 snowball. And
it actually locks on!
But still the balloon is 2. Even a zap! But you can't stop the death damage, and there's nothing going on the bottom left. Jack, back-to-back win. Takes game 2 off of Blossom. Now brings down KK. Third person, third player. Up against him is Roll Up Around from game win.
All right, we may just be able to see another 3-0 coming in from Jack, but it was so close. KK even got a Sparky shot onto the tower. He made it happen, and afterwards, he was so worried about defending that balloon, the death damage.
Yeah, KK also had great zaps. Great timing hitting the tower, like the Inferno Tower, and maybe the Ice Golem in it too. But oftentimes, couldn't really defend it perfectly. Has the Fisherman, which is great against the ground units, against the air. Really have to deal with the balloon with the minions and the Musketeer.
Yeah, and just that moment, Jack's bar barrel was perfect. The Lumberjack was about to lock onto the Princess Tower, but now it wasn't close enough, so it turns back to the Barbarian that came out of the bar barrel, and that just bought Jack even more time for Musketeer to do the damage.
So it was a rough decision for KK too. Had minions against the balloon, but if you use that, you don't have anything to block the laser damage from the Inferno. So that's why he was having those minions before the Goblin Giant. So different decision making coming down from KK.
Okay.
It's game 4. And the final member from GameWit. It is not their final match. They do have one more.
Yep. If Roll Up Around beats Jack, he'll have to go up against Donnie, but he just has to win. GameWit, they have to win today. Valve Gaming, yeah, they win. They secure their spot in the top 4 for 100%. But for GameWit, it's about them making it into the finals or not. And they were the second place team last season. And just seeing them struggle to even make it into top 4.
Yeah, to bring more story in there. The final match is against OPGG.
Yeah.
So, and they lost against them already. So, so this is do or die right here. Next time, there might be no next time for GameWit. It's going to be really, really hard. As Roll Up Around, final member for GameWit. Jack's on fire though. It's not like one-sided games, but he's making all those cycles work every single time. Let's go into potential last game of the King of the Hill. Jack versus Roll Up Around. Roll Up Around on top in red. Jack at the bottom in blue.
Ooh, we have the Ghost.
Shocktober spooky time.
Do all of those missions.
Minor poison recruits. Not with the Iwis.
Nope.
Just Pekka Remfish.
Yeah, I think they're just both going off and not using the wall breakers.
And if they do, it's either the Hunter or the Magic Archer time.
Yep. Jack is just gonna show the Pekka right away. GameWit for King of the Hill, they're just sticking with the Sparky, aren't they?
Sparky day for GameWit. They want all or nothing. I like it.
All
I
three
like
of them.
a lot. But a quicker cycle from Jack, of course. You knew that was coming.
Okay. That's not the big issue. Nice pull from the Fisherman, I thought. Maybe.
The first was a nice pull, but onto the Pekka and the Fisherman gone lets Barbarians to do just a little bit too much. And the problem is that Jack's got Ewis.
And Roll Up Around knew that. Jack put down that Ewis early on the first cycle that he showed us, so he knew what he needed to do, but you can't do anything about it unless you one-shot that Ewis somehow. Yeah, so right now Jack just having the battle ram against
too slow.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And even a zap after a pull with the slow added on.
That's game.
Yeah, it is. Jack is just having such a better deck, and game with the Sparky Day today not working so
there
well.
there can be mistakes, and the deck counter doesn't always work. But double elixir time, okay, roll up around, you can have a big setup, but a Zap was a killer here.
Zap and an E-Wiz. Jack just has to and he has a smaller cycle that he can cycle through if he wanted or if he needed.
Okay, let's continue though. Pekka, drag, good lightning from Olaparan.
Yeah, the E-Wiz not stopping the battle ram. Oh,
yeah, didn't get the charge into the Princess Tower, but still the Barbarians will get few slaps.
the Hunter shot going in, not a big deal for Jack right now. Roloparan has to make a huge push, but he knows that he can't use the spark. You can see he's gonna put it in the back. He's gonna just go for one more big push. Jack knows that.
Jack's on a speed train right now. Shinkansen line going straight through.
Gets rid of that EUS, but like I said, fast cycle for Jack. He can definitely cycle through an EUS. He probably has a Zap ready already. But yeah.
Sparky time. Okay, this time.
Oh!
The setup you want, but has the Pekka.
Goblin Giant locks on full HP. Pekka is gonna take a little time to get through, but
yeah, pulled by the Fisherman. That's how Jack actually planned it. The moment he dropped that Pekka for the Sparky, yes, you take some damage, but you're leading overall. So you're actually okay, unless the splash.
Zap.
Oh, and the Zap spent here. The Pekka.
Oh, locks on to the Dark Prince. Still dies to the poison.
Yeah, but good catch from Olaparan with the shield. Yeah, blocks a shot from the Pekka. 4-3-7 though. Poison, that's the first one.
Okay.
Sparky time. Okay, does get the EWIZ before it shoots onto Sparky.
Yeah, but I think Pekka putting down for that Sparky and then a poison Zap, I think is over.
Yes, with the coming cycle, but one big push. And any kind of mistake from Jack. Let's see, Pekka. Goblin Giant, no hit.
Okay, Pekka
Sparky.
out of the range.
He does hit the Pekka, but still the Pekka is too strong. Lots of HP to survive.
There we go with the poison.
Poison time. Can't stop the poison.
Nope.
With the Zap, it's enough. Jack grabs a 3-0 victory for FOV Gaming. He has done it. What a season. Okay, still has one more match. What a season for FOV Gaming. They just do not know how to lose.
They don't. You saw the records. You saw how he played in King of the Hills. He just comes back. FOV Gaming just gonna stay up there, secure their spot in top 4 to go to the finals. But game with 3-6 now.
Playoffs. You're getting ahead.
Oh yeah, playoffs.
Not finals yet. You're going way too ahead.
Sorry.
We have 2 weeks of playoff, okay?
True. That is true. Oh my goodness. I got too excited. But yeah, very unfortunate for Gaming because they're 3-6. They're tied with Sandbox now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Depending on what happens in the middle of the pack, and basically Game Week they have to win, but because of the head-to-head, I think we have to do a little more detailed calculation, but they might actually not have a chance.
Yeah,
we'll see how the head-to-head actually goes in the score. That's the result for today. Yeah, big games, big matches as we close down the regular season very soon, which is few days left. But it's exciting times because of the wall breakers. And big balance change. We've seen a lot of Witch. No Night Witch though. Oh, only one.
No, we saw. We did see one.
Only one.
But I know you're disappointed because we didn't get to see the clone with the double witch.
That's what I want.
Yeah, you were talking to me about, oh yeah, there's a clone with the double witch.
Even the Korean commentators were saying that might likely come out because it's so popular right now.
Okay, so we do see the standings and there's no grayed out name, so there's still a very, 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 very small possibility for any of these teams to still make it into top 4.
Yep, and the ones highlighted in yellow, it's just guaranteeing them in the playoff. It doesn't guarantee them the placements. So Group A, of course, tied for 6-3. Depending on what happens on Saturday, might see different first place, second place. Might actually, if Ponos wins and Yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
They might be dropping down to 3rd place by the end of tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Saturday.
The reason we're saying this is because in the playoffs, you know, each group's first place will play the opposite group's 4th place. So your bracket will change.
1, 4, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So different group. Basically, that's the deal. Yeah. And the matchup for Group A on Saturday. Exciting times.
Yeah,
I wonder what. So I'm already thinking what kind of 1v1 decks these players will bring to the stage, and also 2v2. We've seen heck a lot of Royal recruits. Do they continue? I think if they actually continue that many Royal recruits, Bomber time, man. But I'm calling it Bomber time.
You're not satisfied with just the bomb tower?
Maybe in November.
Bomb tower, I think. Bomb tower is good enough, I think, to be honest. Bomber, yeah, I would love to see it come out in Clash Royale League Asia. We saw it like only a couple times in West, but Asia we haven't seen it yet. But yeah, maybe Bomber.
It's pretty. It's actually hilarious how things are. Each league is trying to catch on to the other side of things. Like Royal Recruits happened in 1v1 here, and then China started using it for 1v1 and some 2v2, and then West suddenly like everyone's using it for 2v2, and then Asia also goes like, okay, this is pretty good. We should use it too. And then we go in, and then we're seeing so many recruits even after the balance patch. Maybe in just 2 days, a lot are going to change. Maybe we'll actually have like a set. Like a wall breaker deck, wall breaker minor poison deck. Maybe there are plenty of more with more baits, with the Skarmy, with the Dark Goblin, with the Goblin Barrel too. So you don't know what's gonna happen with those wall breakers. Stay tuned. What's gonna happen in 2 days?
Yeah, exactly. Because as these players get to practice a little bit more and prep, we're gonna see a lot of different decks kind of stabilize.
One more day of Group A. One more day of Group B. That's all we have for tonight. Season's about to be closing down very soon, and then we hit playoffs. Keep tuning into Clash Royale League Asia. It's gonna get even better.